Hello and welcome to Bounty into Comics. My name is John Trent. I'm the founder and chief at Bounty into Comics. I am joined by my co-host Spencer McCooley, our associate editor, and our other. I think we're gonna make you maybe a permanent co-host.
Yeah.
Condescending Josh. He's also one of our writers at Bounty into Comics. I get your name is on the site, so do you? Your last name. So do you?
Right.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's Josh Berger, and
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, that's that.
So
And I'm the low-level grunt Bounding into Comics.
So we got a big show planned tonight for the Black Pill stream. We're gonna be blackpilling you on Anne Boleyn if you weren't already. The British 3-episode British miniseries that aired on Channel 5 back in June is now here in the United States on AMC Plus. So we're going to talk about the writer's recent comments on why they decided to race swap the historical figure.
Still not buying it.
Anne Boleyn. And then we'll also do a recap of the director's comments on that issue, as well as the actress Jodie Turner-Smith, who also has some extremely weird comments about America and why she doesn't want to raise her kids in the States. I don't know if we'll get to that. We'll see, but that's on the website. I think we'll also talk a little bit. What did we say? I think you got a Marvel Voices. There's a new comic.
Oh, there is a new comic.
Latinx.
Let's make it happen.
Oh my gosh. I actually watched a really great segment on Tucker Carlson. I don't remember what her name was. She said she was a Democrat, and she was just like, don't use the word transgender because it basically is made up stuff. She's like, there's only male and female, and using the word transgender like gives them power or whatever. And she was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. So I'm sure she'll get lampooned, and she's probably already been lampooned.
Oh, I'm sure.
After that segment. They're probably going after her just as hard as they're going after J.K. Rowling. But yeah, we're going to talk about this Marvel Voices, which literally, what's the word? I can't really say mansplain, because is it a guy that does it? I can't remember.
It's a woke-splain is probably the best.
Woke-splain, there you go.
That's probably
Woke-splain.
the best way to put it. Yeah.
If you guys remember that Colossus extremely long woke split
I forgot
about telling jokes. It's literally oh my gosh, I just made this huge connection because we're going to talk about Will Wheaton. Will Wheaton is Colossus in that because he woke explains.
He woke explains everything. Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about
perfect. That's too nice for Wheaton.
We'll talk Will Wheaton. Oh yeah, he's like woke Colossus.
Woke Colossus. Yes,
woke Colossus. There. Yeah, so we'll talk Will Wheaton and his like absolutely insane diatribe he went on yesterday. What else did we say we were going to talk about? We had like 5 things. I think we're at 4 now. And then obviously we'll talk about what you guys want to talk about. So we got a bunch of folks in the chat. So YouTube me says boom first. Lobster was not happy with that. He told him to go boil his head. Please don't take that suggestion. Don't do that, YouTube.
It sounds like a new TikTok challenge.
I don't know if Bunny is here, but that is not the email that I don't know who that is. That's not.
That's not us.
I don't know if you're in the chat, Bunny. Let me see if I can chat you. I was trying to do it earlier, but it wasn't working. Like it wasn't. Oh, there it is. Okay, I think Bunny is now with us. So I'll just tell you my email. So, and everyone else will have it too. So I've already gotten signed up for all the nasty websites. They've all been blocked. So.
Right.
All right. Yeah. So that is the email you need to send to Bunny. I just typed it in the chat. Just my first initial, my middle initial, and my last name at our domain name there. So that should be it. So send it there. So that's why I didn't get your email. That's why I didn't get it. But yeah, so send that over. We also got Tehillim. Tehillim is here.
Tehillim, good to see you.
Shinkai Atsuya is here as well. So Drew is in the chat. He must be driving, I'm assuming, maybe.
Maybe we'll see the Supreme Heretic.
DZ3 is one of our big followers on Telegram. If you're not following us on Telegram, you should be doing so. Telegram, basically, I mean, I basically turn it into an RSS feed kind of almost.
Yeah.
'Cause I post every single article there. We need to get you hooked up because when I'm out,
I know I need to get hooked up on
articles don't
Telegram.
get. So I have to figure out if there's a way
to like share
get
it or
you
or like
of that, so you
link
can put
it,
stuff in there too.
like Facebook.
But yeah, if you're not on Telegram, do that. Let me see if I can link that. View channel info. Yeah, here we go. I got a link here. So I'm going to share that in the link. Yeah, we got about 100 subscribers. I think we're at 105 now, actually. I definitely recommend following us on Telegram. Follow us on Gab. Get on all these alternative places because you never know what's going to happen. If you've been following us for any substantial amount of time, we were deplatformed from Facebook. I think 2018, 2017, maybe 18, around 17, there.
Yeah.
And we had 250,000 people liking our Facebook page. Completely removed it. It's all documented. I have all those emails I got from Facebook. The guy played dumb and stupid. He seemed like he had no idea what was happening. It's like, dude, you clearly must have files of how people were doing. You clearly know. And then I think our good friend Brett
R. Smith.
Yeah, Brett R. Smith. Thank you. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his last name. I know what it is. It's on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, he contacted me right before they brought the page back up and was like, he was gonna send it over to some bigger named conservatively news outlets that were gonna throw some heat on the fire. And then magically I am informed about that.
Yeah.
Back.
2 seconds later.
Yeah. And now, shockingly, man, Facebook News is sharing our articles all over the place. So, turn of fate there. So that's good. But yeah, I definitely suggest signing up for Telegram. Share the link in the chat there. And then we got Nerdigans is here. Hail, Nerdigans.
Nerdigan.
Ravul Arvida is here as well. He says, hail. Char was right. Yes, he was.
It always is. Doesn't change.
Yes, we got someone commented on the thumbnail. Bunny with the keyboard says that Anne Boleyn picture continues to stare dumbly as if she just got asked what the capital of France is. I kind of skimmed through the trailer. I mean, she just looks sad all the time. I think there's one time where she's kind of smiling or whatever, but I guess that's at the end, so I guess she wouldn't really be happy. So getting accused of all kinds of horrible things. So Near the Fault says hello. RC Scott. I think that's a new name. Says I am here with the Frank.
I've seen him once, I think.
It's the Frank Miller there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's someone else's. They did a Frank Miller homage, maybe. It's definitely his original. I don't know.
I think the lightning bolt might be different.
Yeah, the lightning bolt looks a little thicker, but yeah, I like
cleaner.
that.
Yeah, I see it. Definitely homage-y.
Ravul is like, yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that probably later. I guess there's a South Park special Nerdigans is saying.
Oh yeah, it was the first of the one their movie deals, which are really just hour-long episodes. It's pretty good.
Oh, okay. We got Luigi. Oh yeah, we can talk about this too.
Oh yeah, Luigi.
Yeah, Spencer did a good job covering this, and then he also called out IGN. And then I think there's another thing happening too.
There is another thing happening.
That. Same YouTube channel doing.
I know, yeah, back to back.
And then I think Spencer's looking into this too, Shinkai. Are we covering this?
Yes, that's on the docket.
All right. All right, and then Father Christopher Miller is here. Check out 1970s Colossus, The Forbin Project. Awesome sci-fi. Awesome sci-fi movie. All right. And then
Father Christopher Miller's always got he's always got the inside track to the good classic sci-fi.
Oh yeah. L.E. Yap is here. Says good morning. All hail. Have you guys in the background while I work? Kind of busy lately. Yeah, we've been really busy here too. We've added two. I don't know if you guys have noticed. We've added two new freelancers to the website. We've got Slade Hale and Ryan Pearson. Ryan's going to be doing a lot of our video game coverage. I think he's already done.
Oh yeah, he's killing it. Yeah.
And then Ryan's doing, or Slade is doing some op-eds, and then he's also going to be doing. He's going to be like we're going to be doing listicles. So he's got some really cool listicle ideas.
And not just your average ones, yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be like the CBR ones.
What? Yeah,
like,
I was going to say the ones we love. What are they? It's like
you make fun of. It's like five characters that Deku can like defeat, and five
you can't. Yeah, it's like what are we doing here? Like,
you read the manga? I think we know.
Yeah. 5 characters no longer acceptable by today's standards.
Right?
So we got a big show tonight. And things have been really busy on our end. Personal life's been really busy too. I've been traveling all around, like I said, last week. And then I think hopefully things will start to kind of calm down as we get closer to Christmas. Yeah, Ravul, we're on to that. I think Spencer's on to that. If you haven't seen it, Tipster has all the screenshots. Spencer, if you do research on that. All right, so we want to talk about the thumbnail. Let's
get into it.
Some Anne Boleyn. All right, let me pull it up. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, why are we still talking about Anne Boleyn? And then I was like, oh, it's because they're promoting it for AMC Plus, which I didn't even know existed. I'll be honest.
Dude, I didn't know that either, right? Like, why are there 4 million different things every week?
So there she is. This Jodie Turner-Smith as a race-swapped Anne Boleyn. I don't think she was the only one that's race-swapped, because I saw a couple other characters in the trailer that looked race-swapped too. I mean, I don't know if they were main characters or not. It doesn't look like I captured any screenshots of them. But yeah, so we have Eve Hedderwick, who is the screenwriter of this 3-episode British miniseries that aired on Channel 5 back in June. She talked to the New York Post about why she chose to race swap the character. Before we get to that, we're going to talk about why the director, her explanation, Lindsay Miller's explanation about why they decided to cast Jodie Turner-Smith to play the historical figure of Anne Boleyn. And if you go back and look at some of these older articles, I found a number of historical paintings depicting Anne Boleyn. She clearly is a white woman.
Very, very clear.
She looks pretty pale at that. Out there, it doesn't look like she got a lot of sunlight.
Dude, not at all.
So, but yeah, anyway, so we got Lindsay Miller saying here, she told Metro, she explained, I feel very strongly that we have the best actress for the role, so I'm happy to stand by it. And then she says, I'm very proud of what we have created together, so let them talk. There are going to be a lot of people who don't like it, but I feel like there has to be space for that, and there are going to be a lot of people who love it. I'm one of them.
Congrats for you.
There were not a lot of people who loved it.
No, there weren't.
A lot of people who actually watched it. So that was her explanation. She said they cast the best person for the role for a historical figure. I think that's a lie.
Yeah.
Like, clearly, if you're casting for a historical figure, you would cast what they look like.
You would cast, that is the best for the role. Like.
Yeah, Gal Gadot needs to dye her hair red and then wear a wig for Cleopatra.
Oh, for Cleopatra, yeah. Can't do that. That's redhead, not erasure, but promotion. Can't do that.
No, she just wears the wig. The only time you see her is when her putting the wig on. She always wears the black wig.
She always wears the black wig, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still a redhead.
Just have like one of those scenes where she's putting the wig on. And that's the only
probably, yeah. It would be the opening scene.
Yeah.
Or for just that scene, they would get like a black actress while she's got red hair, and then
after she's dead or something, because they take the
wig off. Yeah, that's. But then it would be the blackest skin because it's a mummy.
Yes. So then we got the actress here explaining in May to Radio Times. She said it's much more approachable and appealing to a contemporary audience when you cast this way. Because we are distilling this down to a human experience.
A human.
Uh,
I'm pretty sure Anne Boleyn was already human.
I mean, she was, yes, in a specific place and time. She was.
She was a historical human. She was there.
It's much more approachable and appealing. I don't think so. I think the numbers prove that is also not true. She then said, if you ask anyone to watch a film or to observe any art, you're asking them to suspend their beliefs. Not true. That's absolutely not true.
What does that even mean?
She's trying to like make this argument that if you watch a fantasy film, you like suspend your disbelief. But if you're watching like a historical drama, you can't expect the historical drama to be accurate.
Right. That's why like her whole statement there about like, oh, this is more approachable. It's like, I feel like it's less approachable because it's more confusing. Yeah. You have a, like, let's say you have a kid go, oh, Anne Boleyn, I want to learn about her. What the hell am I, like, what is this? Why is she white? Like, it's all wacky.
I'm just waiting for the next Fate where Anne Boleyn is actually like one of the heroes. And they're going to do it better.
Oh, man. She's going to
like,
appear on like
done better by Fate.
Whatchamacallit, like a throne of like blades and just sit there and be like,
She's got a guillotine. Like,
yes,
guillotine, or
that's her special move.
She was chopped with a headsman's axe, not the guillotine. I'm thinking of the French.
Oh, you're thinking of Marie Antoinette.
Yeah, no, but she was. It's a headsman's axe because there's that famous painting where the guy is literally like chopping her head off with the axe. But yeah, so she uses a giant axe, so she'd be a berserker.
That'd be awesome, honestly.
Right?
Anne Boleyn, berserker.
Yeah. So that Turner Smith says, I'm aware it's going to be a stretch for some people because they will feel too distracted. Wait, I thought you just said that they suspend their beliefs. I'm so confused here.
Yeah, I thought
they're going to be too distracted. What?
Again, the contradiction right before every word.
But I think for a lot of other people who are finally ready to see the world in a different way, okay?
Different way.
You're going to see that this is a human story we're telling. And a fascinating one at that. Okay.
That's so weird.
She's like, human story. That's totally a PR point. Or because she says human experience up here. I feel like this person didn't say that, did they? I don't know. It just feels very PR-y.
Oh, no, it sounds super PR-y. Human experience. They don't even define what that means. Like, again, Anne Boleyn was already human. Like, that was a human experience.
Like, her story is also like one of the most famous like stories out there, historical stories out there. I feel like too. So it is. No, it is actually relatable because it's such a scumbag guy. Henry VIII was.
Yeah, Henry VIII.
Just he treats all his women just like trash. Like he accused Anne Boleyn of like horrible crimes.
Oh yeah, and it was all just to justify to kill her. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think his killing of Anne Boleyn is what led to the creation of the I think that's really what spurred the Anglican Church, because that's when he had like St. Thomas More come out against him. I think the bishop at the time eventually turned on him and he got killed too.
Oh, whoa.
So he just started killing people.
Oh yeah.
His first wife though I think lived. Like she lived on some like estate, right?
I think he exiled her instead of killing her.
Yeah, she just.
So I think she was still alive. Yeah.
Yeah, she just went and lived on some estate, and I think they were still kind of friendly, like maybe until he started killing people. Maybe then.
Maybe that was it, right?
So now here we go. So that was just getting you recapped on what the other two people said. Now we've got Eve Hedderwick here. Miss Martin Muse is informing us John Fisher, I guess, is another person he killed, I'm assuming. Because I know Miss Martin Muse is a convert. Bishop Fisher was only the bishop who stood against Henry I think she means the 8th there. I thought there was another one. I thought there was like Cromwell or something. He was like with him and then he turned against him and he got killed.
That was Cromwell, yeah.
Yeah, right? Wasn't Cromwell?
What about Cromwell?
Was he not a bishop? Was he not?
Cromwell wasn't a. No, he wasn't. No,
he was
Cromwell
just
was like a nobleman.
He was like his aide, right? A top aide. Okay, maybe I was just getting confused there. Okay, so Bishop Fisher was the. Thank you, Miss Martin Muse, for informing me of this. My English history is not the best. I'll be honest. Yeah, he said he completely abandoned her and she died from it all. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so this is what Eve Hedderwick said. I actually think she's kind of being honest here. She says, we wanted to make sure the world of our Tudor court didn't look exactly like period dramas that we'd seen in the past. Because it is such a well-known period of history and Anne's story itself has been really well covered, we wanted to make sure that it felt fresh and alive and different. And also reflective of our society.
There it
today,
is.
so that hopefully we would attract new audiences who maybe didn't see relevance in watching a story like this previously. Well, where have we heard this before? Like
Everywhere.
Like it's literally every single explanation.
Every single time.
Every single explanation
you
for
want to
any
talk
time
marketing copy, yeah.
they make these insane, stupid, ridiculous changes, race changes, gender changes. We always want to find that fresh new audience. Well,
Which
it doesn't exist.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. Bunny with the keyword says we didn't want it to look like the historically accurate. Yeah. New audiences taught revisionist history. That's really, I think that's really what it is. They were just trying to indoctrinate people. Oops. So I really do think that's what it is. But I mean, this is, I mean, reflective of our society today, so that hopefully we would attract new audiences who maybe didn't see relevance in watching a story like this previously. But then here we go. Did they really attract new audiences? So this is from Media Mole. I guess they get ratings data from an analytics firm called Overnights TV. They reported the first episode was only viewed by 774,000 people in the UK. That was good enough to capture only 5.2% of the British audience share. The second episode declined over 200,000. They lost like 250,000 people. From the first, and you have to remember, this aired back to back. So it was like, I think it was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, it was like a 3-day event.
A 3-day event. They aired back to back. So people tuned in for the first one and they tuned out. Like 250,000 people were like, nope, done with it, not watching the second episode. And then they lost another 50,000 with the third episode, and it did capture more. I guess there were less people. Watching on that day when the third one aired because the audience share was larger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Miss Martin Muses is also pointing this out. Everyone can relate to being the queen of things.
That very, very human story.
Yeah.
That's a really good point, Ms. Martin. Like that's the thing, is like none of these reasonings ever hold up under any sort of scrutiny. The second you if you don't get like mesmerized by the buzzwords and you look at the whole sentence, it's all nothing.
Yeah. But I mean, this is. I really do think they believe in this, though. I think they buy.
Oh no, they do.
These people like legit buy into this stuff, even though every time you get the results, it's down. I feel like the only time where you actually have anything that's done really well is like Marvel.
Yeah.
And like Black Panther. And then Captain Marvel at the box office. And I think we all know why Captain Marvel did well.
We all know why Captain Marvel
did well. That's because it was stuck in between Infinity War and Endgame.
And because Feige and everybody was like, you have to see it. It's so important.
Well,
Infinity War.
The freaking post credit for Infinity War was Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that's true.
Captain Marvel teaser. But wait, Kevin Feige told me this year that they don't put post credit scenes in to try and get you to watch their next movie.
No,
they don't do that.
They don't do that. It's only for this. It's only for whatever you're watching. That's all they care about. If you think that it's all connected and there are hints, you're dumb. And you're a bad fan.
But yeah, so what do you think about this, Josh?
What's it circling back to the thing about having all the 3 episodes back to back? I think it's kind of like it could be explained as in, the studio mainly just trying to pull the band-aid like real quick, you know.
Just
because they
like,
knew
just like,
that,
oh man,
the show was going to get
man,
some
like-
backlash, so it's just kind of like, okay, we're just going to air them back to back, because if we do it weekly, I don't know.
I think that's a really good point. Yeah, like we're going to, like, they know it's going to be bad. Oh man, we're going to lose so many viewers over 3 days. It's going to be worse if we drag it out over a week or 3 weeks or whatever. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
And it's
This
right now. Yeah, so the interesting thing is that apparently, so by casting a black actress, it's just kind of, they tend to cater to the people like me that want to be represented by the queen, the mixed race and all that. And I'm like, well, historical events can't be really. I don't care if you represent me or not,
Right?
Nobody
it was the past. I don't expect myself to be represented by real events by anything really, but least of all real events that happened.
Dude, we need Genghis Khan, man.
Genghis Khan.
He's got to be Hispanic.
I heard Genghis Khan was a strong black warrior.
I've heard that there is a historical argument that people claim that Genghis Khan is similar to like Alexander the Great. I've started seeing that. I'm not sure how true that is though. It might be some people's wishful thinking.
Yeah, right.
But yeah. I mean, because you do have like Russians that were out over there. I mean, and Russian people like look white. Although if you do get further east, they look more Asian too. So I don't know. I have to look into that.
Once you get to that weird like middle ground in Eurasia, everything gets a little muddy before you get to like Asia.
Yeah. All right. I don't really have anything else to say. This show bombed. AMC. I think they're going to try and get some money from America.
But
December 9th, so tomorrow.
That's the funny thing is the what you were saying, like what Josh was saying was like, oh, they needed to just like rip the Band-Aid off because they knew it was going to be bad. That's almost like, I think they also know it's going to be bad because, like you said before the show, the New York Post was the one who got the interview about like promoting the show and bringing it over and how they want to. And to me, that feels like desperation on their end. Like, oh man, like New York, like if none of the big, woke things like CNN or New York Times or anybody is going to take this, I guess we'll just try. Oh man, this is the only one that's going to hear us.
Usually this would be like right up New York Times. I feel like, or even like a Hollywood Reporter or something like that. Going out west, LA Times or something.
Definitely LA Times.
Instead, they went to the like center right New York Post. Whose viewers are like probably don't want to watch, would have no interest in this.
No, absolutely
whatsoever.
Not.
See, YouTube Me is saying this here too. He's seen this too. I've heard that Genghis was a return of resettled Europeans, but I don't believe it. If you look at the Han compared to other Chinese, they are a little. I think that might just because they were inside a lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean that was the
that actually
back
true,
in the day. If you had paler skin, it was people had like. You were like a noble or whatever.
It was like one of those old,
you weren't outside working in the sun, getting tan and stuff. Whereas like now, like since you have more leisure time, usually outside you're in the sun, so you might be more tan. I
might be a little more swarthy, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely see a lot. If you go to the beach, you see those people who are beach rats. Definitely have that super tan skin.
Oh yeah. And they take off their sunglasses and.
All right. Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say. I hope this fails on AMC Plus too. I hope Eve Heder. I honestly don't hope. I hope that Eve Hedderwick never gets to write TV again, and that Lindsay Miller is blackballed too. Because I seriously, I mean, these people are ruining. They're literally trying to brainwash people into believing that this is what Anne Boleyn looked like, and that is not what Anne Boleyn.
It's so weird,
looked like whatsoever. She's a historical figure, and she should be played by a character or a person that looks like her.
Looks like her.
Which is what Amazon said they would be doing in their casting. We know that's a lie though. Which is
Wheel of Time.
Ravul Arvita says Anne Boleyn as a character in Fate Grand Order. Yes,
Exactly.
Heard it
Right
here
now.
first. I'll share on $5. Needs to happen. And then we just got a $9.99 super chat from Valiant Renegade.
Valiant.
Had a moment
Hail.
to catch the stream and just wanted to say thank you for doing such great work on your site. It's been a freaking source of great content for me and many other YouTubers. Keep it up. Thank you, Valiant Renegade.
Thank you.
We
Yeah.
appreciate your patronage. We will continue to keep up the great work. Like we said, we brought in 2 new freelancers, so we're going to be doing even more great work.
We also, I noticed today, we just crossed 19,000 followers on Twitter, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna wait till 20,000 before celebrate, but yeah, we did.
I'll
See that.
promo that. That's a preview
And that was,
celebration.
that was after a purge too.
Yeah, that was
That was
right after the purge.
Twitter purge people because I saw we were at like 18.9 and then I saw we went back
I
down
saw
to like
that too.
18.7.
And
So we lost like
that was 18.8 and then 18.7 as well. So it's like it's been changing.
yeah,
it
they
just
definitely
keeps
dumped
going.
it. And we know that they purged. We know that they purged multiple reports, claiming that they were purged at Raheem Kassam. I think there's
our
Jack.
report.
Well, right. Well, I reported on those reports.
Oh, I know.
Jack Hadfield did as
Like,
well.
who knows?
So yeah, and then it was interesting the way that they targeted it, or at least what saying how they targeted it. They didn't target it based on who you follow. They said they actually, and I've seen this technology. I've seen this node technology when I worked at a I don't know, it wasn't like a pack. I don't know what it was called. It was like a lobby group kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what it's called. It was like it was some political group I worked for.
Yeah.
But I saw it.
It's all hard.
We contracted with this team that lets you see these nodes of people and like where they interact with, and you could see that like left-wing journalists literally never talk to anyone on the right. Like there's zero communication with them whatsoever, and so you had all these like right-wing like people on the right that had all these nodes. So it looked like what the reporting is they specifically targeted a node of like America First, Christian, people who have probably different politics from mainstream Republicans.
Yeah.
And are trying to have that America First type politics, I guess. It's hard to describe it. It's America First. And that's what their view is. Everything is America First. And if it's not helping America, why are we doing it? Kind of thing. We should stop it, and then we should actually be helping people in America instead of
what
like
a radical idea. What a radical idea.
One of the big things now I'm hearing is like they're trying to like do stuff with like in Ukraine with Russia and stuff, and it's like what is going on? Like close our like we got a border over here. We don't need to be protecting.
I know.
Ukraine's
Like we can't even protect our own. What are we doing over here? Yeah.
So stuff like that, and I guess they targeted like people that were in that node, and they got patriotic Shinkai. Yeah, that's a good term. And they targeted that node on Twitter, and I guess they're anonymous. A lot of them are anonymous. And they got purged, and it was thousands of accounts. So and the guy from Gab, Andrew Torba, claiming that Twitter has kept those users' IP and data. So even if they do create a new account, they're going to get insta banned anyway. So he's like, what's the point of ever going trying to go back to Twitter?
Yeah.
Just create your network here on Gab because we're not going to ban you. So yeah, and I do encourage people to use Gab. We're on Gab. All of our stories go up on Gab as well. Just like Telegram, just another platform that we use. I actually really like Gab, especially the way you can so you can join interest groups, and then I can share articles to those interest groups. So that not only do they go into those groups, but it also shows up on our timeline too. Like so, if you go to our main timeline, it's not just like in that group. Like where Facebook is, if I share it to the group, it's not going to our page. So I have to like double share, and it's really annoying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I like how I like the
integration.
I like the way Gab does that. And speaking of Facebook, they've been I've gotten like so the public group, they've changed public groups. So if you're in our Facebook group, Facebook has changed public groups, and they're already removing
so weird.
people's content, and I can't even see what it is that they're removing. So I have no idea. It's like you have had content removed from your group. and I like go to
And
click
like
to see
no
what it
way
is,
to
and
get
it's
more
like
info, and yeah, it's just
this. It's like this content violates our standards, and we can't show it to you. It's like, okay, well,
yeah, of course.
so yeah, even our Facebook, and then we got a bunch of new people joining the Facebook group, and I don't approve any of them anymore. I used to approve every single member to the Facebook group. But
Remember,
I think
guys,
with
he says he
publishers now,
doesn't
you just
approve
join.
them, not approve of them. He doesn't approve them.
Oh, yeah, I just like accept. Like,
yeah.
you apply and I hit accept. I usually just hit accept on everyone. So that's not really that big of a change.
No.
I'm not sure if I can even. I'll have to see if I can ban people. I don't know. It's been a while since I've had to ban anyone, so that's good. Usually try and keep. I mean, I know people can get a little heated on Facebook, but usually the conversations are pretty civil.
Yeah.
But we've got a couple new people, and I've seen. I've
got
seen
like
some
troublemakers, yeah.
I've seen some heated comments with the new people. Let's see how it goes, though. All right, what do we want to talk about next? Do you want to talk about Will Wheaton? What's he up to?
Let's get up to Wesley. How is he being an idiot this week, this day,
So
this hour?
I think this might take us an hour to get through. I'm not gonna lie, this was like a really long article for me to do, and I just copy and pasted a lot. Like,
Dude, those are the craziest ones. Yeah.
and I had to find some images. Gage Skidmore, thank you for the.
I know, seriously, like
for all these celebrity images that we get.
Can I buy Gage Skidmore like a cake? Like,
I've actually met him. I met him in Vegas.
I know you told me.
I was driving around with him with Vegas because he was photographing the political debates when I was flying around the country following them too. But yeah. So this is my new title for him. I saw some people didn't like it in the first one. I didn't use it in the headline this time because it was already really long. But I did use it here. Star Trek host. I think that's what he's pretty much is now.
That is what he is now. Yeah.
He runs that Ready Room show, which is basically like an after show for all of the Star Trek shows.
Talking Dead or whatever. Yeah.
And like literally less people watch it than watch Gary's. Like Gary's like if Gary goes live after the show
like
to do
recap,
like a review, like he used to do back with like Game of Thrones.
Way back in the day. Well, not way back, but yeah.
Like that was kind of right when he started blowing up. Was his like Game of Thrones live streams. But yeah, so Gary pulls bigger audience than the official like Star Trek YouTube channel with a freaking former Star Trek actor host. No, I've never met Will Wheaton. I don't intend to meet Will Wheaton. I don't really care to meet many of these celebrities.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't mind maybe meeting like Mel Gibson or like Denzel Washington or like Clint Eastwood or like some of the older celebrities, but like anyone like I don't know, like anyone under like the age of 60 or I want to meet. I just have like no interest. I wouldn't mind meeting like Bruce Willis. I don't know. Is Vince Vaughn over 60 yet? I don't know.
Basically, John wants to meet the Expendables, and that's it.
Pretty much. Like I mean, pretty much.
I know. It'd be awesome.
Dolph,
Sly?
like, all the like the action stars from like the 80s and the 90s and maybe early 2000s. But yeah, I have like zero intention of meeting most of I have zero intention of ever meeting Will Wheaton. I like could care less.
I never, please.
About
I might go out of my way to avoid meeting him.
Yeah, if I was going to meet him, I'd like maybe like bring a priest with me and maybe try and like convert him or something. Like that would be like the reason to meet him. But like, I don't think that is the path that God has put me on to convert Will Wheaton. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Freaking.
I'm calling out as like absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I would. Maybe at his farm. I wouldn't want to meet him at a convention, but if I was meeting him at his farm and like, I don't know, just getting in the muck with like mucking out the stables or just like working with him, like
that's getting away from that all.
Like actually, where you can actually like maybe go fishing or something. Because he's got a huge farm, and I think it runs up to the I think it's on the sea there out west. I think I've seen photos of him showing that. I know he's got sheep and stuff, but that would be one. Maybe he shows me how to like shear sheep or something, or like just like I don't know. That would be kind of cool.
I know exactly this. It's the find the common ground. I totally hear you. Yeah, convention would definitely be the worst spot because he'd just be trying to perform. He would be like, "Oh, look at me! I'm so woke, bounding into comics, boo!"
I've actually never had anyone do that at a convention. I don't think because I mean they I don't know that they haven't like they haven't ID'd me like Richard when they were trying like what's his name was trying to get him at Baltimore or whatever.
Yeah,
he was like saying that Richard was walking around Baltimore and was like gonna beat him up or whatever. I'm talking about you boy Zach, I guess. Sorry,
yeah,
you boy Zach.
And then there was the whole quartering thing. So
yeah, well, yeah, he actually did get attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, jeez, covered that. Yeah, Bunny with the keyword says, I feel like the only reason to meet Will Wheaton is to give him a paddle, explaining that every bad person needs a paddle. When you first read paddle, I was thinking like fraternity like paddle.
That's what I'm thinking. Wait, is he talking like a paddle?
No, yes, because it's a canoe. A canoe.
Oh, yeah.
Every canoe needs
I was
a
totally
paddle.
thinking the paddle too, and I was like, all right.
I was like, oh, we got to spank him because he's a bad kid.
Speaking
and then I got to
like
the canoe
people over 60. Yeah, like.
And then I got to the canoe part, and I was like, "Oh, it's hilarious! Just give him a paddle." I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Father Christopher Miller will come with me, and we can like say a rosary or something like right in front of him and pray for his
Luigi is actually making a really good point talking about Mark Hamill and. Mm-hmm. It's like the same kind of thing. It's what Mark Hamill is probably the best example of never meet your heroes, right? Because he's not Luke Skywalker in any sense, and it's probably one of these celebrities, Hollywood celebrities, that I was most disappointed to find out that he was like hardcore left-wing activist as well, right?
Right?
Yeah.
And,
so
no, it's okay. I was done.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I think Harrison Ford might be worse because Harrison Ford is actually like yells at people who just are trying to get him to sign his autograph. I think Mark's actually pretty good with Star Wars stuff. If you're just gonna go talk Star Wars with him, I think he'd probably be really friendly. But if you do anything outside of Star Wars, like you said, I do think if you got into like political stuff, yeah, you wouldn't want to talk with him. Yeah. But if you're just like mainly doing Star Wars stuff, sure. I mean, Hamill was one of the most outspoken critics. No, The Last Jedi.
Yeah, seriously.
So
until they made him take it back.
Until he realized that he might be on the like most of the people who are criticizing it might be politically opposed to him, and then I guess like Abrams came, and I don't know. I still like what I think as like Johnson did terrible things to him, but so did Abrams. Like. Force Ghost catching the lightsaber
absolutely
is absolutely ridiculous, especially when you literally have in I think Obi-Wan, it says in Empire like they can't interfere.
Yes, it is an Empire.
He's not really interfering. He's like
during the whole talk. Yeah,
like, back to her. Yoda's like force kills the in Last Jedi. Yoda force kills the temple.
Oh, the tree. Yeah, he calls down the lightning.
Yeah, jeez.
The books.
Blue-eyed Roof Korean, the Based.
Roof Korean.
Sites on Facebook, nothing of value was lost. I don't know. I mean, Facebook has a huge. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but from my perspective as a publisher,
yeah, I was gonna say from our business end perspective,
Facebook, the Facebook audience is enormous. But I do applaud the efforts of people like Andrew Torba on Gab, people like Eric July creating this parallel economy.
Yes.
People like oh my gosh, I'm gonna blank on his name. Hold on, I gotta find it. I know his name. He's the Orthodox. He's got a comic called God's Dog.
It's not Lopresti.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
No, he's got a French name.
I know. We talked about
Pajot.
Yes, there we go.
Jonathan Pajot doing his own thing. He talked about parallel economies as well. I think if I believe. So I totally applaud those guys. totally on board for it. That's why we are on Gab, why we are on Telegram. But we'll be here on YouTube. We'll be on Facebook. We'll be on Twitter until they kick us off. And they did kick us off on Facebook. We got back on. But we do and Vox too. Vox is doing good stuff with ArcTunes. So yeah, I definitely applaud those guys doing their doing the parallel economy stuff, and I do definitely think that is a way to go. It's been done before. If you're follow any kind of history, it's kind of what happened with the monks back in like the Middle Ages, which they try and trash the Middle Ages as being like the Dark Ages, but
which is like completely wrong. Yeah,
it's like it's the opposite. It's when like you had all tons of that writing in the monks and like developing beer and everything, like
the German ones,
German beer, man. Like, how can you say that's the Dark Ages? You're getting some of the greatest beer ever. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff happening, a lot of flourishing during those times. But yeah, and then obviously you had Image, and they're still successful now. But yeah, so let's talk Wil Wheaton. Kind of rambling. YouTube me here doesn't like Harrison Ford either. Harrison Ford is so far up his own butt, he made an entire documentary about Star Wars. Unpleasant. Yeah. I mean, I just remember that article
that documentary was that?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
that's
it's
interesting.
One on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, probably.
I just remember that article you did where he just yelled at those guys at that hotel.
Oh yeah, the kids who were like trying to get his autograph. Yeah.
After he recovered, I guess he's gotten everyone's autograph or something, and he just needed Harrison's.
He had gotten like everybody who was on that crew. Like he got like the director and all the actors, and he was like, I'm pretty sure he was like a special kid, like a mentally challenged kid, and he was really excited. And Harrison Ford got back to his hotel room after shooting one day and just like lost it on the kid. And it's like, dude, yeah, that really killed it for me too.
I mean, there's a difference between a fan and a paparazzi, and I'm pretty sure.
100%. And
paparazzi,
and that was the thing too, John. I'm pretty sure he was like, his explanation was like, "Oh, I was being followed by a paparazzi. I thought that was him." So blah blah blah. And I'm like, pretty sure there's a big difference between a paparazzi and like a 12-year-old.
Yeah. All right. I don't know if did I read this one already. I don't think so. Another $2 super chat from Blue Eyed Roof Green the Based. Says Wheaton played himself on The Guild. Huge loser.
I never watched that show, probably because of him.
I never even heard of it. What is it? Is it about like a Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, or it's like
what it sounds like.
They're all like I think they're MMO players. Yeah, I think they're like
okay.
World of War. It's like in a fake World of Warcraft, and they play the fantasy characters and then the real players. I don't know. It was kind of cheesy.
I'm not interested in shows where like I can actually do it. No, I'm like not interested in shows that like I was in guilds. Like I'm not interested in watching.
I know, right? Like I don't want to watch it. I don't need that.
Like I'll be honest. Like there was a lot of drama in that stuff. People just like make up drama too. It's like, dude, I'm just here to like.
I just need to run this. I just need to run this dungeon, man. You guys can fight it out later.
Yeah, like I don't care. Like which if you get the purple stuff, like let's just kill this stuff and
like let's just get through it, figure it out later. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get it next week, whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, I think I don't remember. I did get in a beef with one guy one time. I think we brought in another guy that could be more consistent in our playing time, and we need a so like this one you need.
And that's people. Yeah.
You need 8 people to play, and the one guy he wasn't being consistent with our time. We had to be on at a certain time. We like set a time, and he just wasn't being consistent on it. So we brought in another guy. And he got really pissed, thinking we were kicking out of his guild. And then he just quit. So glad we brought in the other guy, right?
I mean, yeah, that's like a legitimate thing, though. That's not like he said something mean to me on the Discord last week. I don't want to talk to him.
Yeah, and we were like a competitive. So it was Dark Age of Camelot, and it was like
yes. I was trying to remember. I was trying to remember which game it was because you've talked.
The end game wasn't PvE. The end game was Realm vs. Realm, and so we had they called them gang squads. We created an 8-man Midgard gang squad, and there was only 2 gang squads on our side. It was us who played on. We played Eastern time, and then there was a Chinese team, our Hong Kong team, that played like in the middle of the night. or like during the day when a lot of our guys are sleeping. So I might join them if they're short people during the day. But our team played at night, and we would go up against like there was like I think there was like one Albion team. They sucked. We owned them. Like they were like, dude, we crushed them. But there was a Hibernia team because it was 3v3. There's 3 different realms going against each other. So it's so unique about it. This Hibernia team was really tough. They were tough. Like we struggled to beat them. But once we had this one guy, we were able to beat them a couple times when we brought this other guy on, and he was just like, he wasn't even like our main tank. He was like an assist tank, but he was really good at like just dropping people because he played a berserker, so he was just doing tons of damage.
Oh yeah, he's just swinging and slashing
with dual axes and just killing them. But yeah, I think there's a video. I have to talk to. I think one of my buddies who used to play with me. He's commented on YouTube here before on this channel. I don't know if he has some of our videos. There's a video of us taking out 40 people at once. That was a freaking epic fight.
I remember. Yeah, you told me about that. I still want to see that.
And then after that fight, we got killed by the Hibernians because we ran out of. We didn't have any of our abilities.
Because you were all spent. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I know we said we're going to talk about this, but I think we went on a 20-minute tangent there. But yeah, Star Trek host Will Wheaton targeted Dave Chappelle in a recent social media post. It's 2. I guess. Well, it is. It's 1. Then he commented on it, and then he turned his comment into a post, calling the comedian a bigot after it was announced Chappelle would headline Netflix is a joke festival, which is like I don't know. Let's go down here. I got an image here about what it is. Like 100 plus live shows, 20 plus venues, and it runs for like a week in California. From April 27th to May 3rd. I think this is alphabetical order here. Ali Wong, Amy Schumer, Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle at the Hollywood Bowl, David Letterman, Jamie Foxx, Jane Fonda, and Lily Tomlin, Kevin Hart, Martin Lawrence, Schitt's Creek Live, Sebastian Maniscalco. What I found really interesting is look who's on here. The person that Dave Chappelle says that they got to say is unfunny.
Oh, no. Hannah Gadsby?
Yeah.
No. Oh,
she's there too. I thought that was funny. I thought that was hilarious that that she was on there with
Wanda
Chappelle. But yeah, so you got, I mean, Chelsea Handler, is she really a comedian? I don't know.
Her career is kind of a joke.
Did she ever do, has she done stand-up?
I think she might have started. I'm not, like, that's where she might have started out. I'm not entirely positive.
I don't.
Not big enough of a fan of Chelsea Handler to know her.
It also says like. It also says Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
Like, and like if you go to their, let me pull it up. If you go to their,
is it gonna be like Andy Kaufman? Is he gonna just like?
No, it literally says he's performing live. Hold on. So I didn't understand that. This is so annoying. Their search function is terrible on Netflix.
Oh, I know.
Press site.
Yeah, the press site especially.
Like it's one of the worst. Like, I literally search here. I'll show you. I searched Dave Chappelle. What comes up is an article from August 2020. Netflix presents the official trailer and first look for Young Wallander.
Like what?
I searched Chappelle. It came up last time. I hear it. But anyways, they say that he's performing live. They say he's performing live. There's like a whole list of other comedians, and he says that he's performing live too.
Maybe they just didn't update the poster. I don't know. Well, then, but he also wasn't in the best health. I can't imagine he would have like signed. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to find it. Yes, I agree, Shinkai.
Really
Hannah Gadsby is the bathroom break. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there are clips that people put out there of like Hannah Gadsby's Netflix specials, just clip from the Netflix itself, where it's like clearly added in laugh track, and then they've edited it. They're like, this is what it is without a laugh track, and it's bad. Like,
isn't that like some kind of safe space comedy or something like that?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly
like it doesn't
what
really
it
make any jokes. They try not to offend anyone, so it's not funny.
That I think that was like the whole point of her like promoting it back in the day was like it's not supposed to be, or no, the press was like it's not supposed to be funny, it's supposed to be real, and it's just like, well then why are you doing comedy? Like if you're not going to be funny? You have one job.
It was on here earlier. I wonder if they updated this, or if there was another one. Maybe I grabbed an older one.
I believe you could. You know what? I bet they probably updated it. Like, I can see that they're not always the fastest on this kind of stuff. We know this.
Maybe this is from their last one. Maybe I pulled up. But this has an. I don't know. It says, but Chappelle's at the Hollywood Bowl, so I don't know.
That is super weird.
Because it says here, where is it? Oh, Seth Rogen apparently is going to be there. Oh man, who wants to go see that? Yeah, it says Dave Chappelle and Friends Hollywood Bowl.
Oh yeah, it looks like I just went to the official site.
Download art here.
Poster. There's a different poster on the official website.
Oh, this one. No,
that's a different one. That's the LGBTQ one. Here, I got this.
Get out.
I'm shooting it over on the Slacks.
So there's a different one. Oh, here, no, right here. Download poster art. Oh, this one. Okay. Still, is it the same dates? No, it's different.
It's different dates. Yeah.
Oh, so I must have clicked on some other press release. Is this? I thought
maybe you did it.
Maybe
you got the one for this. Maybe you did it for this year's one.
I'll have to fix that.
Yeah.
I'll fix that. Sorry, guys. Anyways, it's not Norm Macdonald. All right, let's back to Will Wheaton.
Still Chelsea Handler though. So
yeah. So Wheaton took to Facebook where he shared a Rolling Stone article announcing that Chappelle would headline Netflix's comedy festival. He then proceeded to comment on the announcement, writing, "Absolutely disgusted. Every single comedian who is on this bill should withdraw unless and until this despicable bigot is uninvited."
Bro, first, who are you? Like, I'm sorry, we know who he is, but I'm looking at the lineup. Who are you compared to people like Aziz Ansari or Tina Fey or freaking Dak Shepard?
Aziz Ansari was already canceled. Aziz Ansari was canceled.
He was canceled, but
over the dumbest thing ever.
Over a bad date. That's literally what it was.
Yeah, he's canceled over a bad date.
But they got Jerry Seinfeld, John Mulaney. These people don't care about you, Will Wheaton. Who are you? Get over yourself.
They must withdraw. They must withdraw
for me.
I demand it.
I need it. I need to be safe.
We'll get to. He walks it back after thinking about it, after sleeping on it. That part. We'll get to that though. Any comedian who is part of this should be ashamed of themselves. Netflix may not believe in holding this piece of crap to account. Oh, I didn't censor that one. But you all have to live with yourselves and the choices you make to perform with him. You are a sinner! And you are associating with a sinner, so you are a sinner. That's what he's saying. He's saying
it is. It's literally the thing the Archbishop said the other day. It is true. This social justice stuff has replaced traditional religion. And that's not just even if you guys want to take it from a secular point, I've seen academics argue this is replacing religion. It's being weird. This ain't right.
We saw
the Archbishop is 100% on point.
The Game of Thrones chick that's married to the Jonas brother. She was they were literally prostrate on the ground.
Oh yeah.
In some kind of weird prayer circle.
During
the Floyd protests or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. And then we've seen the videos of
struggle sessions and stuff, essentially.
The Black Israelites telling people to kiss their boots and stuff, and people were doing it.
That was the the one I can remember is never mind. I remember that. I remember the Black Israelites also showed up during the Covington thing, but yes, I remember your one. I've seen the one you're talking about.
I think they were in Tennessee or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, they even give you your own original sin, which is racism, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're always racist. You can never be anything but racist. You've got to spend your entire life like repenting from your racism, and it's like you're literally just go to church.
And there's different levels of
Yes.
racism based on what color your skin is. So even if you're like Will Smith, you can still be racist because you're you're lighter skinned than other
light.
people. Yeah. All right.
Only Nightcrawler. Only Nightcrawler gets the oppression points.
Storm 2. She doesn't get any.
Dude, she's not dark enough. She's not black enough.
I guess it depends on which run, right?
Right, that's true. It really does depend on which run.
Is T'Challa? Is T'Challa? Is he? Oh, he's royalty though.
He's the king.
He's not as oppressed. He's not as oppressed as Killmonger, like the real Killmonger.
Dude, that was so.
And F everyone at Netflix who is part of this. Trans rights are human rights, and words matter. Okay.
Good one.
But then here
really
so
fighting out there, Will.
He brought it back though. He said this part. I told you he brought it back.
You did.
He posted this. He was like, edit, which is weird. I always thought you can see when they edited it. But it didn't show
on Facebook, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought there was like a thing where it was like this post was edited. And
it normally used to see. Yeah, I remember it used to be like that.
I don't know if they changed that or not, but he posted this edit here. So I don't know if he edited the other part either before I got to it. But then he wrote this edit 12 hours later, an important follow-up thought. He was like thinking about this for 12 hours. Look, just sitting there.
How can I get? No, it wasn't even. That's not what he was doing. You know, he was sitting there, like looking at all the retweets, like yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then he was also sitting there waiting for like confirmation from Netflix, like, come on, cancel them. Like, I know he's going to be gone. And then 12 hours later, he's like, oh, maybe I'm not going to win here.
He was probably because he does engage in the comment. You know, he reads all the comments.
Of course, dude. Will Wheaton is just like. Absolutely the person who reads every single comment to every single thing he posts. Like, he's just that guy.
So he says here, it's very easy for me to sit in my chair. Sit in my chair like he's the king. And issue edicts like he is the king. Like he's already
goodness, dude.
About what other people should do. That's presumptuous, and it overwhelms a larger point that I made in a comment here, which is also in its own post. I withdraw that outburst, and I regret saying it. Like, I don't know if anyone cares, but I guess I do, and I want to own it. Like this, like I don't know if anyone cares, and then he says, "I do care." Like, clearly,
and like you're so right, John. Like, look at the way he's saying the way, like phrasing everything. Like, like when at first where he's like, I could just sit here in my chair, and I get like right there, I'm like, oh, you're gonna like admit like, yeah, I'm like an armchair warrior, my bad. But
he's on the Iron Throne.
But that's how he's looking at it. Like that's how he's framing it, and it's like, get over yourself. Like, gosh.
So then in the comments here, let me show you. Oh, I actually pulled it off stream. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't realize I didn't have that there. I'm sorry. But yeah, so this is his first post, which it's probably a lot older now. But let me actually, did I link it up here? I did. Okay. So I'm going to pull this up. And I archived. Oh, he deleted it.
Yes.
He deleted it. Too bad I screenshotted it all. And I archived it. So let me pull up the archive here.
Archive.
I did it. I knew he was gonna delete it too. Like I knew it. I knew it.
These are like the sweetest moments of victory. It's like the best fruit. Like just.
Someone else had already archived the other one, so I didn't have to archive that one. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to see the comments. Oh, no.
You might be able to see a few. On the archive.
Oh, I don't know.
Not like the whole thread.
So I did
Oh
archive it.
no, shoot, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
But don't worry. So like he literally had a comment. So I'll pull up the other one.
We still have that.
This one was already. Someone had already archived it. I don't know who did. But yeah. So
A hero.
basically, right. So he talks about it here. He says here that's presumptuous and overwhelms a larger point that I made in a comment here. So he made a comment on this post, but he turned it into its own post. So he had this like insanely long comment where he talks about like this experience of him calling a number of hockey players the F word, like the gay slur word, the bundle of sticks word, and then he turned it into its own Facebook post. So it's here. Let's see if he deleted that one too. No, so this is still, he kept this one. He kept this one. So this one is still up. This was in the comments of the original post. Yeah, it's trending on Twitter because I wrote an article about you.
Yeah, it's us. I know it's us.
Thanks to Jorge for tipping me off on this. By the way, he did tip
He's
me
the
off on
man.
this. Yeah, so listen, literally look at this. Anyone who's criticizing him as a Nazi, like this guy's a lunatic, absolute lunatic. And he deleted the other one, so he's a loser. But anyway, so this was in the comment. He wrote all like this entire post. Like, look how long this is. This entire post was in a comment on the last one. Like really long.
Dude,
So,
get over yourself. Nobody cares.
We're gonna go through it.
Yeah.
We're gonna go through it all here. I told you this is gonna take a while. This will be forever to write, so it's gonna take a bit to discuss. It's possible. Facebook is really weird with archives, with the comments and stuff. Fortunately, he's an idiot and put the comments on in a new post, so you can archive that. And this one, that post is archived. Someone had I archived the first one. It hadn't been archived before, at least on archive.is. It might have been on Wayback Machine because they're different. But I did this one here that we're going to go through now had been archived before I hit it. Someone else had already gotten to that gotten to that before me. Yeah, this is a Wesley segment. We're going through his insane attack on Dave Chappelle, which is hilarious because like we'll get to this at the end. Like Chappelle like basically refutes all the points he had already like refuted previously before he even made this. It's like pay attention to anything that was going on.
No, of course not.
Too busy reading Facebook comments about yourself.
Honestly.
Zero Depressive is like, I could ask him to post it again. Yeah, you should share the archive link. So if you want to find the archive link, I can show you how to do it.
So good.
Basically you just take this. So in this article here, you just copy this link here and then go to archive. I use archive.is. I don't know what the different, and it takes me to MD though. And then you just do this query, post it in there, search, it pops up right there. And so you can just share the archive link to them if you want to do it like that, because that could be funny. Just share here. Actually, I'll just do that. I'll just let me drop it in the chat. Actually, I don't know if you'll be able to like copy and paste that. If you want to do that, Zero Depressive, and then see if he responds. That would be even hilarious. That would be even more hilarious. Make sure you take a screenshot so you can share it with us. All right. Let me get back to this though. So I gotta get back down here. We just covered that. All right. So he begins this comment that's now in that new post, and I chopped it up. It's all here. So like you can see I chopped it up. How it starts. But he says, for anyone who genuinely doesn't understand, I feel as strongly as I do about people like Chappelle. He doesn't know how to spell his name. Making transphobic comments that are passed off as jokes. I want to share a story that I hope will help you understand and contextualize my reaction to his behavior. Like we're gonna get into this story is crazy, but what he does after telling the story just shows you how like
Where he
this
is,
guy
yeah.
needs some like spiritual help. Like his interior life is not very good, and he needs a lot of help with it. And I mean, I just think you can kind of see. I feel like it's reflecting physically on him too. He just, I don't know, he just kind of looks emaciated almost to me. Maybe that's just the photo. I don't know. But then he said, when I was 16, I played ice hockey almost every night at a local rink. He's not a very good storyteller either, because he
No, not at all.
in writing, because he's just like, wait, we're gonna stop the story.
He's
and then I'm gonna talk about this.
He's like a little he's like a little kid. He's like and then and then I saw a frog and the frog but then I saw a Batman toy that I was playing with earlier. It's like that.
Yeah. I mean, I understand going off on a tangent because like that's where the conversation leads.
Yeah.
He's writing this, like he's writing it.
You have a
Different
moment to
writing.
be like, no, let's keep it on track.
Yeah. So he says, when I was 16, I played ice hockey almost every night at a local rink. I was a goalie, and they always needed goalies, so I could show up, put on my gear, and just wait for some team to call me onto the ice. It was a lot of fun. Actually, does sound like a lot of fun.
I was just about to say that does sound like a lot of fun.
One night, I played a couple hours of pickup with some really great dudes. They were friendly, they were funny, they enjoyed the game, they treated me like I was part of their team, they welcomed me. After we were finished, we were all in the locker room getting changed into our regular clothes. And then he literally stops. He stops telling the story. Right? Because he then says, before I tell you what happened next, I want to talk specifically about comedy and how much I loved it when I was growing up. I listened to records and watched comedy specials whenever I could. One of the definitive comedy specials for me and my friends was Eddie Murphy's Delirious from 1983. It had bits that still kill me. Ice cream song, Aunt Bunny falling down the stairs, mom throwing the shoe, really funny stuff. There's also extensive homophobic material that is just effing appalling and inexcusable. Long stretches of this comedy film are devoted to mocking gay people using the slur that starts with F over and over and over. Young Will, who watched this with his suburban white upper middle class friends in his privileged bubble, just talking like, dude, those words.
Shut up.
Thought it was the funniest, edgiest, dirtiest thing he'd ever heard. It killed him. And all of it was dehumanizing to gay men. All of it was cruel. All of it was bigoted. All of it was punching down. So he's literally he's not just accusing Chappelle. He's literally accusing Eddie Murphy. Of that too. And I didn't know any better. I accepted the framing. I developed a view of gay men as predatory, somehow less than straight men, absolutely worthy of mockery and contempt.
Bro, that's on you. That's you admitting your own thing. Like, that is 100% on you. Don't blame Eddie Murphy for that.
He's literally trying to blame Eddie Murphy and the comedy special for his own behavior. And he specifically gets even more specific than this. Like, you're already seeing it. It gets even worse. It gets even worse. He's blaming Eddie Murphy's comedy special for his own actions.
That's the thing. It's what they always do. They can't take personal responsibility anymore. It has to be somebody else. I'm not a bad person. This thing made me a bad person. And it's like, no, take some damn responsibility.
Yeah. Here we go. He says this here. Let me put this another way. A comedian who I thought was one of the funniest people on the planet totally normalized making a mockery of gay people. And because I was a privileged white kid raised by privileged white parents, there was nobody around me to challenge that perception. For much of my teen years, I was embarrassingly homophobic, and it all started with that comedy special.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. It started because you're an ass.
He's also saying that no one told him that. Yeah, say that again, Josh.
What's up, Josh?
No, that he actually it was a bad joke in a way. No, that he's saying that he didn't have anyone around him to challenge his perception. I say, okay, but he looks pretty challenged to me.
Right?
Yeah, I was going to point that out too. I was going to make another point though. It's like he's claiming that no one was challenging that, but I mean, he claims he has parents, he had other people. even if you want to accept his story at face value and believe that the comedy special like made him this person, I it's hard for me to believe that someone was like, maybe you shouldn't be saying that. Like,
Well,
I
Right?
don't
He
know.
was like,
Right.
Like it's like Baldwin didn't pull the trigger. That's really hard for me to believe.
it's really hard for me to
Really
believe.
hard. Especially when you're saying you cocked the gun at one point in the interview,
And then
then
you're saying,
in
I
another
didn't
point
touch
you
it.
said you didn't. Okay, well, what happened?
He's
Tell
trying.
two stories.
He's trying to. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to play on the sympathies of people who don't understand guns, like the people who always call for gun bans and stuff, because like they don't know what a hammer or a trigger or any of the mechanics, like John Schneider taught us the other day. Like he knows nothing about those, but and that's what he's hoping everybody else knows.
Right.
Also, I love that. That's just a quick aside. I love that might be the most controversial thing we've ever done on the site. Is like list John Schneider as Smallville actor or Dukes of Hazzard actor. Like no matter which one you do, that other fan base is always like, "What are you talking about? No, that's John Kent," or "No, that's Bo Duke." And I always love it.
And that, well, actually, the reason why I decided to use Smallville instead of the Dukes of Hazzard was because the previous article used that one. So I was like, no, okay, so let's use Smallville now. Right?
No, that was
Yeah.
it was a
And
smart,
because it's done with
a
the
good
comics,
movie.
and I was like, okay, that's
It's comic related, yeah.
it kind of relates.
No, that's
No.
what you gotta mix it up.
Yeah,
It's-
absolutely.
Someone like that who's been in two like pretty big franchises, like I mean, they're like it's like Will Smith, Men in Black, Independence Day,
Independence Day.
What did
Fresh
he just
Prince.
do? Fresh Prince,
yeah,
like
King
or if you want to be,
King
or if you want to
Richard.
be like more relevant, you do like King Richard, right? Like Suicide Squad, like
Suicide Squad.
someone like that. They're in so many, like you get lots to pick from.
You definitely got to switch it up a little bit.
Like with Schneider, you could have even done his like. I feel like you could have done like maybe the next one will do his like band.
Oh yeah, I totally forget. I always
He's got his
forget
country
in a
band. He's actually,
Yeah.
I think he's on
It's
tour
pretty
right
good.
now.
It's really good. I've
His
listened
stuff
to
is
it.
pretty good. I like his stuff. It's got some old school twang. I like it.
Yes, that's the best way. Old school twang. That's the best way to describe it.
But yeah, he's literally blaming Eddie Murphy's comedy special for his own actions. It's like he literally says this right here. For much of my teen years, I was embarrassingly homophobic, and it all started with that comedy special. Like he's literally saying the comedy special made him homophobic. Like get out of here.
No, get out of here. Get 100% out of here. Yeah.
And then oh man, my mouth is drying up here. Talking
Oh
too
no.
much. So now he returns to his original tale about the hockey room, the hockey locker room. Do you remember that? I don't know. Did you guys forget that?
I did. I totally forgot there was another story happening. It's a story within a story within a story.
He says,
Story
let's
within
go
a
back.
story within a story and a story over there.
He says, let's go back to that locker room. So I'm talking with these guys, and we're all just laughing and having a good time. We're doing that sports thing where you talk about the great plays and feel like you're part of something special. And then without even realizing what I was doing, that awful word came out of my mouth. Blah, blah, blah. F word. I said, the room fell silent. And that's when I realized every single guy in this room was gay. They were from a team called the Blades. And I had just really effed up. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
And then he continued saying, do you have any gay? He said that this is what kind of one of the players, he's recalling this. He says, do you have any gay friends? One of them asked me gently. Yes, I said defensively. Then I lied. They say that all the time. This is a pretty good memory recall for being 16.
Yeah.
He's got like quoting them.
He's got like exact quotes. He's got the timing perfectly down.
I was so embarrassed and horrified. I realized I had basically said the N-word in context and I didn't know what to do. I wanted to disappear. I wanted to apologize. I wanted to beg forgiveness. But I was a stupid 16-year-old with pride and ignorance and fear all over myself. So I lied to try and get out of it. And then he says that this is what one of the hockey players said. They must not love themselves very much, he said with quiet disappointment. Nobody said another word to me. I felt terrible. I shoved my gear into my bag and left as quickly as I could.
All right.
And then he says, that happened over 30 years ago. And I think about it all the time.
That sucks.
I'm mortified and embarrassed and so regretful that I said such a hurtful thing. See, if he had gone to confession, he wouldn't have to be thinking about it all the time.
That's right.
Okay, and then he goes back to this. I must have missed a part here. There's something missing. I think it's like I. It's supposed to be I, right? Let me go down here. Where is it? Yeah, I forgot the I. Okay. Bad John. He said then. So then he said, I said it out of ignorance, but I still said it, and I said it because I believe these men who are so cool and kind, and just like all the other men I played with, I was always the youngest player on the ice, were somehow less than, I guess, everyone, because that had been normalized for me by culture and comedy. Like he's like literally
he has his own problems, dude.
Yeah.
Yes, seriously.
He's literally blaming comedy again for its own actions. So then he keeps trying to do this. He says here, a huge part of that normalization was through entertainment that dehumanized gay men in the service of jokes. I forgot the big quotation mark there on the end too. And as someone who thought, did you see what I did there though? I changed it up.
You did.
And as someone who thought jokes were great, I accepted it. I mean, nobody was making fun of me that way, and I was the main character. So that's really weird, man.
It's
Maybe
such a
actors
weird
think of that.
thing. It's the narcissism. It's the narcissism thing.
Yeah, well, he is a main character in this fan fiction of his. So.
Yeah.
Right? Honestly.
Yes. So then he apologizes to these hockey players. I doubt very much that any of those men would be reading this today, but if so, I'm so sorry. I deeply, profoundly regret this. I spent literally my entire life since this has happened making amends and doing my best to be the strongest ally I can be, except he like literally apparently never found these hockey players. And
yeah, right.
apologize to them.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
I feel like that might have been something you would do if you were spending your whole life making amends.
Making amends. Oh my gosh. I didn't even catch that the first time.
Maybe that's one of the first things you do is actually go and like seek forgiveness from the people you wronged.
Yeah.
Say sorry. I don't know. You wouldn't do it 30 years later in a Facebook post.
It's funny because he's still kind of doing the same thing right now. I mean, didn't he actually blame his parents for being racist? Could he say he was privileged or whatever? And
yeah, he said his parents didn't show him another perspective or something like that.
Which is like, I doubt. I don't know. I'm just with you. It's like I highly doubt nobody pushed back against him if he was really that bad and this awful. Like, yeah, it's so weird. He needs help.
I want to do everything I can to prevent another kid from believing the same bigotry I believe because I was ignorant and privileged. Yeah, so that's what you're talking about right there, Josh, right? He's still calling himself privileged. Kind of referring to his upbringing and his, what did he call it? Like white upper class suburban like something like that.
Hit him with all those buzzwords that are scary.
So now he goes after Chappelle. So this stuff that Chappelle did that all these cishet white men are so keen to defend, I believe them when they say that it's not a big deal. Because it's not a big deal to cishet white dudes, he said. But for a transgender person, those jokes normalize hateful, ignorant, bigoted behavior towards them. So we'll get to this because I kind of point this out at the end of the article. And then Wheaton says those jokes contribute to a world where transgender people are constantly under threat of violence. Transgender people have been safely, acceptably dehumanized, and it's all okay because they were dehumanized by a black man. Wow.
Dude, that's like a swing. That is a hell of a swing. That is wrong, but also wow.
So I guess I guess he's never seen some of Joe Rogan's stand-ups, like with his He's probably never seen Joe Rogan's bit about Bruce Jenner. Like,
Oh yeah.
he gets like up on the chair and is like, "Ah!" Like, on the chair. Like it's like I don't know if what he's saying is funny or just him on the chair.
Just,
like
the energy. Yeah.
what is he doing? Because he says like he's like a Kardashian witch, like casting a spell on Bruce Jenner. I think is like the skit, I guess.
Yeah.
Call it. Or the bit. I forget which one that was. I think it's on. I think that's on Netflix too. It's a Netflix special.
Have you seen the latest one yet, John? The latest Dave
the
Chappelle
Closer
one? Yeah, the Closer.
Yeah, I watched a lot of it because I needed to find this quote that we'll get to later.
So I love it because like
I'm thinking, exactly.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it right there. Like it's because they were being dehumanized by a black man. At the very end of the Closer, Dave Chappelle is literally like,
yeah,
the reason I have an issue with the transgenders is because you guys you won't leave us alone like black people, and now it's still happening. Like it's so weird.
I got another quote on that too. And it's a different one. It's not from the Closer, but I think it's from his.
It works.
I think it's from his Instagram that Josh covered previously, like last month, like maybe October. I don't know. It's been a while. I feel like the Chappelle thing has been going on.
It's been going forever.
Yeah,
because you had like the protests, then the woman like got fired for breaking into a meeting.
Oh,
and now she's resigned, and their labor lawsuits have been dropped or whatever. Or
That's the best. That is the best.
Tehillim says Will Wheaton at 16 would have been on Star Trek: The Next Generation. So I guess I feel like I don't know.
So is Will Wheaton telling us that he was just flying around the set being homophobic?
I don't know. But yeah, so he says here, and the disingenuous argument that it's actually racist to hold Chappelle accountable for this, get the F out of here.
It's not racist. You're just being so dumb about it. Like you have no argument.
I mean,
so
he made it about.
Going, I know.
He made it about race here, like right there. He's making it about race. And so now like, this is so like it's. He's like, I don't like Dave Chappelle's jokes about these people, but I love dark humor. Like I love smart, clever jokes that make us think, that challenge authority, that make powerful people uncomfortable. Like, what do you think he's doing? Like, I mean, I know that there's an argument that people think that Chappelle isn't challenging the authority or making powerful people uncomfortable, but I also think there is an argument that he is kind of doing that. Because it definitely is clear that he is making certain types of people uncomfortable, as we've seen with like literally Netflix employees walking out to try and get him canned.
So ridiculous.
And like literally some grifter, like literally, you covered this, Josh? The woman is like who like tried to like lead that movement,
had
like said all these like horrible things. Yeah. Just insane. And clearly she's probably like she seems to be a woman who has some authority.
Well, that she thought.
Yeah. Then he says, I don't need a lecture from some dude and wrap around. Like, who does this sound like? This sounds like Kelly Sue DeConnick, doesn't it? You don't like my politics, don't mind my blood. And a get her done, like he's like taking swings at like Larry the Cable Guy and a get her done tank top about how I don't understand comedy and I need to stick to acting. Well, he should probably quit acting too. I don't need a First Amendment lecture from someone who doesn't understand the concept of consequences for exercising speech the government can't legally prohibit. Well, apparently you don't understand that either. That's why you deleted your Facebook posts, right?
Yeah.
Zero Depressive is not impressed. Says nobody sounds like Kelly Sue. Yeah, she has a distinct accent. Definitely does. And then he says, literally every defense of Chappelle's jokes centers white cishet men and our experience at the expense of people who have to fight with every breath simply to exist in this world. He doesn't really explain that. I have no idea what he's talking about here. It's kind of
I actually don't even know what cishead means. Cis, okay, cis I understand. The head part, I have no idea.
I think it's heterosexual.
Oh yeah, okay. So they keep making up terms that just who said that? They keep making up terms that just to describe normal.
Yeah, like regular.
Yeah.
Ordered, I think, is another word you could use. Ordered. Isn't it kind of like what is it? Don't they mean the same thing though? Like, isn't cis mean heterosexual?
Right. So cis male.
Nerdigans is saying cis hetero, but I thought cis was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bunny's saying that too. But what does cis mean then? I thought they were the same thing. Like, why would you combine them? It's kind of weird.
Because it makes it sound smart.
I guess
that's the only reason.
It's really hard to even say that though, because if you actually you could do it like. I'm not going to say it.
Right. So, yeah, it's easy to mispronounce.
Yeah, but if you had no idea what you're doing, it could be a hard C, and you could be like key, and then I'm going to say that Keyshet. I guess it could be that. Anyways, though, he continues saying, literally every queer person I know, and I know a lot, is hurt by Chappelle's actions. Again, he still can't spell his name right. Just 2 P's. When literally every queer person I know says this is hurtful to me, I'm going to listen to them and support them and not tell them why they are wrong, as so many cishet white men do. Like he apparently it's just white guys. White guys are the bad guys here. Even though it's Dave Chappelle who made the jokes in the first place.
So Nerdigans is actually saying that cis is non-trans and that cis can also be gay. You can be cis and gay. All right.
Okay. All right.
It's a stupid
I really don't even want to learn their
that's the thing.
Dictionary. I'll stick with mine.
It's bending the knee to their demand. So it's it's the same thing as complying. It's just like, no, don't learn this. Yeah.
I'm kind of glad I don't know what the word means.
Right.
I figured it out, but I figured out the second part, but if you're inclined to disregard queer voices, especially as they relate to this specific topic, I encourage you to reflect on your choices and think about who you listen to and why. Too many of my fellow cishet white men are reducing this to some abstract intellectual exercise, which once again centers our experience at the expense of people who are genuinely threatened by the normalization of their less than or outsider status. 30 years ago, I centered myself and was appallingly hurtful as a result. I was 16 and didn't know any better. I still regret it. Frankly, a whole lot of y'all who I've already blocked. He's talking to people that he's blocked that can't actually read what he's saying. Okay. I'm surprised he hasn't blocked us on Twitter. I checked today. He hadn't blocked us. I was actually kind of surprised by that. But I don't even look at his Twitter. I just go to his Facebook because he says the most insane things on his Facebook.
But I checked his Twitter and the last update was in 2018, so he's not really active on.
Yeah, I don't think he. Okay. He must just do it on Facebook then. Should feel the same shame about what you said today that I feel for something I did 3 decades ago. Listen. This is literally. You should feel the same shame that I feel for something I did 3 decades ago when I was 16 and didn't know any better. But you don't. And that is why people like me need to keep using our voices to speak up. Is that why you deleted your Facebook post? Speaking up, speaking out? Deleting it? Doesn't really, it's kind of the opposite, right?
Right.
I think it's at 20,000 now, 17 when I saw it, so 3,000 more people, 2,800 shares. I hope most of them are just making fun of him. He should feel the shame, right, Tillian? Should feel the shame that he felt when he was a 16-year-old. DZ3 hits it right here. Will is a cult member of wokeness. Yeah. Chris says he was getting ratioed bad. Yeah, I didn't really go into the comments because I figured he was getting just owned. Because it's just absolutely insane. But like, so this is what I was talking about here. This is what I was alluding to earlier. Despite Whedon's claim that Chappelle's jokes centers white cishet men, in his most recent comedy special for Netflix, The Closer, Chappelle said, Any of you who ever watched me know that I have never had a problem with transgender people. If you listen to what I'm saying, clearly my problem has always been with white people. I have been arguing with the whites. The whites. How does he say it? He said he has a way to say it. The whites. My entire career. And just when I thought I had you guys on the ropes, you changed all the rules. I'm a girl now, N-word, and you must treat me as such. Call me a girl, N-word. It's annoying as F. I don't know. That doesn't seem like he's centering white people in his joke. He's literally going after them.
Yeah.
And then this is what we were talking about earlier. Clipshader's Instagram. Chappelle stated, "It's been said in the press that I was invited to speak to the transgender employees of Netflix and I refused. That is not true. Mm-hmm. If they had invited me, I would have accepted it, although I am confused about what we would be talking about. I said what I said, and boy, I heard what you said. My God, how could I not? You said you want a safe working environment in Netflix. Well, it seems like I'm the only one that can't go to the office anymore." So this was like when they were like literally like had the big protests outside and Vito got beat up. Taken. He didn't get. I think his sign was just destroyed, right? Mm-hmm. Which is wrong. His sign shouldn't have been destroyed.
It was great. He had a sign and they destroyed it. And as soon as they took the sign off of the post, they went, "He has a weapon."
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, the guy. Yeah,
the person who did it. Like, and so Vito, like, surprisingly, he did like the smart thing where he was just like, "Oh, I'll let it go." Like, okay, it's not a weapon.
Yeah.
Like.
I want everyone in this audience to know that even though the media frames it that it's me versus this community, that is not what it is. Do not blame the LBGTQ. He always does that.
He always
switches
does that.
It up. I kind of community for any of this crap. This has nothing to do with them. It's about corporate interests and what can I say, what I can say, and what I cannot say. For the record, and I need you to know this, everyone I know from that community has been nothing but loving and supporting, so I don't know what all this nonsense is about. So, I guess none of the people Will Wheaton knows know Dave Chappelle. That's what it sounds like to me. Because Wheaton is saying all the people he knows are super offended by it. Chappelle's like, all the people in that community that I know, they're loving and supporting.
They're loving it, yeah.
And so then he says to the transgender community, I'm more than willing to give you an audience, but you will not summon me. I'm not bending to anybody's demands. And if you want to meet with me, I'd be more than willing to, but I have some condition. First of all, you cannot come if you have not watched my special from beginning to end. You must come to a place of my choosing at a time of my choosing. And thirdly, you must admit that Hannah Gadsby is not funny. And I think
that's my favorite part, especially the way he's like says it. Where he's just like looks at the camera. He's like, "It's not funny."
I think I was reading the first one because it said inaugural, and this is wrong. I need to fix that. So I got to fix that because I don't think these people are all going there. This part's wrong. I was ready.
Billy Crystal.
Wrong press release. But anyway, so that is Will Wheaton. Has he posted anything else? Let's see. Let's check.
I'm sorry for my homophobia. I've now made a donation to the Trevor Project to make up for it. That's how these always go.
Oh yeah, he does have one. He's got another one here.
Yeah.
Oh no, never mind. That's the same
one. Yeah, when I was 16.
This one. And then he's got he totally deleted the other one.
Oh, puppy.
Yep. All right, well, that was our Will Wheaton story.
He's crying as he always does. I don't remember the last time he did anything that wasn't crying.
I I mean, geez, just absolutely. Just the guy's crazy. This is the
He's
same
so
guy.
Brain poison.
Like, he's got like. So remember, this guy, like, he literally has a like. I don't understand. He doesn't like. He has a thing against white people because he also, if you remember, this is what he said back in. Here he goes. Yeah, January this year, just less than a year ago, almost a year ago. He says that white people are domestic. He implied that they're domestic terrorist insurgents. So this was just
Domestic
right after
insurgents.
just after January 6th or whatever. So he says here, make no mistake, these domestic terrorist insurgents were allowed to storm and occupy the Capitol. There is extensive video of police stepping aside. What? Like, how can you like? They stormed the Capitol, and then he's like, "There's video of police stepping aside."
It's contradiction. No.
Yeah. I've seen video of a cop taking a selfie with a rioter inside the building. Okay, that's kind of weird. Yeah, I think he does say white people too, because I know he did that. Let's see here. Make no mistake, these domestic terrorist insurgents. Okay, here it is in the comment. Yeah. There are thousands of right-wing radical rioters in and around the Capitol right now. Okay, that's previously. I'll just have to I'm just going to do a search here real quick. See 4 times. All right, here we go.
There we go.
There must be consequences for people who allowed this to happen. I know there won't because white people. So he's implying like all of the people that were
going
there
to get off because they were white. Yeah.
White, yeah. But there should be. And there have been because they've been locked up.
Oh, there's been a lot, yeah. Like he's full of crap, and they'll pull the same thing the next time something happens that just happens to have a white criminal. Like it's tired. Everybody's over it.
Oh, we have that already. We have that too. Well, he's not a criminal. He was exonerated, found not guilty.
True.
By a jury. But he actually went after the judge.
Of course he did, because he probably knew that if he went after the man himself, he would have like gotten hit by a lawsuit. Ugh.
This is like the perfect picture of him because it just like encapsulates his ridiculous. Like it captures. It does. It captures.
It really does. Like it's
stressfulness.
It's him. It's just that's the.
Yeah. So he went after the judge.
To me.
Here. No, so this guy asks him like basically like he's just asking questions. Clearly, I think he knows the answers to them. Because this was all in the trial.
He was just because he says he's in Germany, so he's like, I'm just making sure because like he doesn't know our law exactly, but he's on the money, like he has it all correct.
Right. Yeah, he's like
he was asking like I just want to make sure
everything you're asking. So did I think I missed where is it? Did I do this? I must not have included the
it feels like just yesterday I was listening to Judge Schroeder's voice.
Hunting okay, that's so weird. Where does he say about the did I not include that screenshot? I usually always include screenshots. What happened here? When did I write? Did I write this one? Yeah, I did. I wrote that one. I should have had the screenshot here. Oh well. I'll go back and fix that too. But he says here, shout out to Judge Schroeder who got the result he worked so hard to ensure. His racist little white nationalist heart must be full of joy today. Just like absolutely insane. Like he's a Democrat appointee. That
doesn't matter then because he didn't serve their narrative.
Yeah. If you don't go, just this guy's insane. I'm gonna find that on his Facebook because shouldn't be that November 25th. Shouldn't be that too far on. He probably deleted that too. I bet you I might actually have it in the back end. I just didn't put it in there. Because I want to show you. He did say that. I'm at 29. This is what you hate about Facebook too. It doesn't have a search.
Oh, I
Can you
know.
imagine if Facebook had a search like Twitter did? No, he deleted it, I think.
Dang.
Yeah, I think he deleted that one too. Dang. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Maybe it was a little bit before that. All right, I found it. He posted on November 19th. There we go. I just did a Control F. Yeah, so here you go. You can see that he did post that. Gonna screenshot it right now.
Racist little white nationalist heart. Blah, blah, blah.
Like,
You
okay,
can see-
dude.
It's kind of weird. This coloring on my screen did change when I pulled up the snip tool. Even though you can't see that, that screen, but you saw the screen change. You guys saw the screen change.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, just trash. And I'm sure he'll say more trash things too. So look forward to more Will.
That's all he
Wheaton
is now.
coverage.
That's all Will Wheaton is now. He's just a trash man.
Yeah. All right. I know we're talking about Kelly Sue DeConnick. I know we didn't preface this, but I do want to talk about this.
What's up?
Did you see JB's article,
I gotta fix my wheel. Which one?
the Amazon article,
Yes.
or the Wonder Woman?
The Historia.
Yeah. So get ready for. We were just talking about this. This is almost like. So we were talking to Kelly Sue DeConnick. Will Wheaton sounds like Kelly Sue DeConnick. Kelly Sue DeConnick is rewriting history just like Anne Boleyn. It's all coming together here.
Look at that.
This is like a Dave Chappelle comedy where we
It's
like
poetry.
his,
It rhymes.
it's his OJ. It's like the OJ one that he did, which I actually really like that one. The OJ one was brilliant. Where he like combined them all. Like he tells like the 4 times he met OJ Simpson throughout his special. And I think that's
Yes. I know exactly what joke you're talking
that special. I really like that special. That's funny. I like that one a lot better than the closer. Yeah, so we got this new interview, Kelly Sue DeConnick. They didn't even get in CBR. They did it on like their DC's website. Which I don't know how many people actually read that.
I don't know either.
I just go there just to see what kind of like nonsense they're gonna post. And they posted this nonsense. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go to the. I think it's easier just to read it in the interview style. Personally, so we can just see the questions that they're asked and then do it. Let's get into the history. Yeah, so this was this book was announced like 2018 when they announced DC Black Label. So it's been what, 3 years
Yeah.
since that. I've forgotten about it. I think a lot of those Black Label stories never came out. Which I don't know why. But anyway, so this person who's talking says we don't know who they are. Oh no, Alex Jaffe says it's the most gorgeous comic I've seen in my life. I don't know about that. Oh, we got Nubia here, it looks like. Or no,
Nubia.
that's Aphrodite race swapped. There we go.
Oh. Aphrodite. Yeah, definitely race swapped.
Artemis, Hestia,
Hestia looks pretty cool. I'll admit.
Athena.
Wait, that's
Athena,
not Angelina Jolie.
Hecate, Demeter. All right. So here we go. Alex Jaffe says, I want to talk about your influence, Kelly Sue. This is your second major work for DC after a 2-year run on Aquaman. She literally killed Aquaman, drove its sales into oblivion.
Yeah, seriously. It got bad.
That's probably
and it was doing really good.
That's when I stopped reading Aquaman. Was when she came on. I was still reading the Dan Abnett stuff, and he was also doing Kelly Jones was actually doing did a couple fill-in issues because I think they were having art issues because I think it was supposed to be Sajic, and I guess he was just having health issues or something and wasn't able to like meet the deadlines.
Oh wow.
Stepan, his art was pretty good. And they brought in someone else who had kind of similar style, and then they went with Kelly Jones. And then they did like a couple filler issues with Kelly Jones, and
Which was awesome.
Kelly Jones's artwork is nothing like Stepan Sajic's.
No, not at all. But cool.
Which I like
Not
both
at
of them. I like both their styles. But
it's just one of those moments like when you're reading a book and it's got like a consistent style, and then you get to like that filler issue and you're like, whoa, like that's way different.
It wasn't really a filler issue. It was almost like it was still part of Abnett's arc.
It was like I guess like an exposition issue.
It was like it was like a 2-part arc where he kind of went on a side quest, I guess.
Yeah, I think he just got like some Atlantean.
But it was really cool.
It was fun.
Yeah. So like Historia, that was also deeply entrenched in concepts of ancient culture and mythology. I'd like to know how your research into mythological history and concepts influenced Historia, not just the gods, but also the Amazons themselves. I was not overly interested in the actual history of Greece or the Mediterranean because this isn't really that story.
Yes, it has to be.
Wonder Woman, Historia, the Amazons. Like, what? What?
I'm tired.
I was not overly interested in the actual history of Greece or the Mediterranean.
Yeah, we can tell.
Really that story. I mean, clearly, like the Amazons are a fictional creation, but they're based off of like Greek myths. Like
it
completely like
everything
Wonder Woman
is
is still
connected.
like the daughter of Zeus, right?
Yeah, like all of that. Ares is still there. Like the Pantheon is still there.
Circe is like one of her main villains.
All of that stuff is still there. Like you can't just erase that. The Amazons are not your own original creation, DC. Like this clearly they're trying to make it, but nope.
Yeah, I mean Marvel already kind of changed that with Thor, but
that's true. Yeah.
With Heimdall.
But at least like the thing with like they changed Heimdall, but at least like it's still that character, like it's still Heimdall. The myths are all still there. They're not saying like, oh, we're throwing it all away. Like it was dumb. Don't race swap a freaking again like a historical figure essentially. But it's at least you're saying like it is them. Like I don't know. It's a little better.
Yeah, her coming out of the seashell onto the water. Yeah. Beautiful image. 100% agree. I actually just got I got the second and third volumes of Chainsaw Man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got them.
Dude, I think you're gonna love that series so much. Like I'm excited.
I think that
you love that first one.
That first chapter was like brilliant. One of the best stories ever. But yeah, I got 2 and 3. I still have to get 1. So I don't know if 1 is coming or not because it's like this is from my aunt early Christmas present.
Oh, that's awesome. She always gets you cool stuff.
Yeah. Well, I give her a list and
that works too.
Dang, Chainsaw Man Part 2 already? What? We only got Part 1.
Really? Damn.
Yeah. Spencer's been doing Vinland Saga too. He really likes Vinland Saga.
I love Vinland Saga to him.
All right, so let's keep going here. Getting distracted with the good stuff.
I didn't even know this. Did you know this? Heimdall is literally called the white god in Norse mythology. I didn't know that.
Doesn't surprise me.
I know. And that's what YouTube Me says. That true? That's just a punch in the face then, huh?
So I did some research. This is really embarrassing, but I really love the Great Courses Plus, which is a series of actual professors giving you their actual lectures. Only they're standing on a very awkward sound stage looking at cameras when they're told to. There's a couple of really fantastic ones that are classicists and historians. In particular, there's a professor who has gone through ancient Greece and specifically Athens and did a series of lectures on like, what was it like to be a slave? Okay, so it's literally a woke lecture.
That's the problem.
That's
Is
what it
like
sounds like to me.
like as soon as it was like, what's it like to be a slave? What's it like to be a woman? I like in my head, I'm like, I know that's probably a good course if it was being taught like actually historically, but we know like it's not. It's just not.
The different roles and what your day-to-day life would be in these societies. I found those to be incredibly helpful lectures. I listened to something like 50 hours of the classicist Elizabeth Vandiver's lectures on mythology and on Herodotus and Homer, and was very interested in all of that as well. I also wanted to plug Adrian Meyer's book, The Amazons, which is a real history.
I'm looking that book up right now. Let's see what a real history means.
But it was a little bit like learning the rules so you could throw some of them out. Because this is fiction and we write about the past today. We're not really writing about the past. We're writing about today. All right, this is clear. This is really important right here, what she's saying. Because this is the problem with Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
She says here, this is fiction, and we write about when we write about the past today, we're not really writing about the past. We're writing about today. There's no point in making art about the past unless you're using it to talk about the present or the future, because the past is past. And this is exactly the same thinking that Anne Boleyn writer Eve Hedderwick had, and she kind of hints at it, but DeConnick is like just straight up telling you
she's just coming out.
What is happening? This is why
so
Hedderwick changed Anne Boleyn, because they're lecturing you on race. That's literally the only reason.
Like, and this is so insidious where they're like this is the point that like John and I, like, I'm pretty sure we talked about it last week, but you know, they say when we write about the past today, we're not really writing about the past. We're writing about today. They're literally trying to rewrite that past. They don't want you to look at the actual historical past. They want to make it there. It's the 1984 thing. Like every book is rewritten.
I was about
every
to say
history, that. Right? Yeah, the quote that I dropped. So it's like, this is insane. They literally want to say, don't look at the past. Don't take any lessons from it. But listen to how we tell you about the past. Like all that matters is how we tell you about the past, not what the past actually was. And that's dangerous.
Right. And she's saying here, it's not just telling you what the past was like. We're telling you what the past was like so we can lecture you on what we're talking about now in the present or what we hope to in the future. Yeah, Zero Depressed is like Ministry of Truth. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Bunny with the keyboard says Kelly should just admit she's too lazy to do even basic levels of research.
It sounds like she did like the laziest research you could do. She like put on these random lecturers. Like, what is the accreditation on the site even? Like, whatever. And are they like the history TikToker, John? Like, is that their accreditation? I have no idea.
I have no idea. It sounds like she just put in a podcast, walked around.
That's it. That's coffee. Right. That's exactly it. That's literally the imagery I was going to use. Like walking around, podcast, and then just went, okay.
Or she went to a cafe in Portland because I think that's what she's from. Carrie says
she went to a protest.
She's unable to create timeless content. Exactly.
Yeah.
True. YouTube me says about his resume. You're reading my greatest work of fiction without me lying. Funny.
Seriously.
All right, so let me go. This is just talking about the artistic influences. Why is it upside down? What's going on here? Or what is going on? Is it upside down? Why are they floating? I don't know.
No, it's a. I don't know why they're floating. I don't think it's upside down because all the art like on the vases is right
all the
side up.
vases upside up. Yeah.
I don't know why they're floating or anything.
I think I saw one that looked like it was.
There is one because like there are a couple back. Yeah, there are a couple in there. It's like one of those optical illusion things, like the bunny or the duck, where it's like you see one thing one way, and then as soon as you see like somebody points it out, you're like, oh, I see it now.
Yeah. Yeah, and then this one kind of maybe, but no, the bottom's here. You can tell.
Yeah.
I just think it's because it was touching the
ceiling up there. Yeah.
The ceiling, yeah.
I totally see it.
All right, so here we go. This is another part here. Another question. Let's talk about those Amazons. In the past, Paradise Island has been presented as this utopian society built on ideals of peace and love. But at the same time, we see the Amazons as this fierce and proud race of warriors. How do you square these two apparently disparate visions? Patty Jenkins failed to do that. I'll be like, because that's when you get that cringe line after she just beat the crap out of loser dude, like the garbage Doomsday or whatever. No, it's the first movie after she just annihilated Ares, becoming a sword. And, laser
love, right?
And then you get that love conquers all of it.
You just beat the hell out of him.
Yeah. I think there is a thing that happens sometimes when men are trying to celebrate women, and this happens sometimes when women are trying to celebrate women as well, but it happens a lot when men are trying to celebrate women. Women get put on a pedestal in a way that suggests that women are just better, right?
I love how she freaking puts this on men. Get over your... I've literally only seen this rhetoric coming from other women, in recent years. There is no men putting anybody on... This is such garbage.
The only time I used to hear about men putting women on pedestals was when they were they were white knighting for that person.
That's right. Yeah, that's the only time I've really heard it either.
In hopes
in
for,
modern times. Yeah.
Yeah, in hopes for something else. In hopes that their white knighting will
get them attention. Yeah.
Yeah. That they're more communal and gentler and more nurturing. They're not aggressive like those terrible, awful men. And putting someone on a pedestal is just another way of putting them in a box. It's not helpful. It's limiting. It's not equalizing. It continues to other us. Dude, all right. This is I keep seeing this. They keep saying they other us. Because men and women are different. We are different.
We are. It's called
fact.
Sexual dimorphism. It's just there. It's biology.
And there are different gender roles. Men cannot get pregnant.
Yeah, exactly.
Women can, and they have natural bodily functions that also aid in the nurturing of a child they deliver after pregnancy that a man cannot. I know full well because I've just spent a little over a year raising my daughter, and so I've seen this firsthand about how men and women are different, and even how my daughter responds to us right now at her age. She's still much more needy with her mom because that's where she would get a lot of her comfort and nutrition, and that's where she was getting a lot of that. Because I wasn't able to do a lot of that in the beginning of her life, in the first half of her life. But that is kind of changing now because I'm doing a lot. I am taking care of. I do a little bit more of that stuff now. But clearly, there are still differences between us. We're built differently. Men have higher testosterone, usually in general, bigger bodies, bigger bone density, run faster, stronger, have greater capabilities to become stronger, to become faster. That's why you see, if you look at the Olympic stats, for any kind of speed, even endurance, weightlifting, the men are head and shoulders above what the women are. One only has to look at a men's basketball game and a women's basketball game and see the difference.
I just always think back to the U.S. women's soccer team getting their butts handed to them by the under 17
14-year-olds.
Yeah,
14-year-olds.
14-year-old boys team from Germany or something, or Brazil.
Yeah, they were Chicago Fire development team.
Oh, I didn't know they were. Oh, Fire! I didn't know that they were.
I think so. It was an MLS development team that they got.
I had no idea that.
By.
Wow.
It was 4-1 or something like that. They got destroyed.
It was worse than that. It was brutal.
They got absolutely smoked.
Oh, and then there's the other. Is there recent news about the transgender swimmer that's crushing
Yeah.
the competitions?
I was
14
I was
seconds.
thinking about that. No,
14
dude.
seconds. Well, that's what I'm saying. Can you
Such
imagine
garbage.
Michael Phelps? Like Michael Phelps would destroy Katie Ledecky. Like Katie Ledecky is one of the greatest U.S. female swimmers.
Yeah.
Michael Phelps, one of the greatest U.S. male
The
swimmers,
swimmers.
and he would just blow her out of the water, like absolutely crush her. His times are so much faster than her times in the. I think the events that they I think there's a couple that
I think they do
might
like
have
the
done together.
butterfly and a couple. Yeah.
Like even what's the other guy from? I think he's from Florida.
Oh, the new kid.
Yeah, that just absolutely. He won like 5 or 6 medals.
Oh yeah. He's
yeah,
like
even
the new kid. I can't remember his name. Somebody
He's
will give it
beating
to
Phelps's
us.
records. He's beating Phelps's records now. But yeah, he is. He would just destroy all those women's records, and that's what's happening. That's what's happening.
It's such garbage. It's such.
So it's not supposed to be equalizing because we're not equal. We're different. We even among men are different. Like I'm not Muhammad Ali. I'm not oh frick, what's his name? The Argentinian. Oh my gosh, the
Pele.
soccer. Yeah, Pele works too, but that's
Pele
not what I was
works.
thinking about. I'm not Pele. Like we all have our different talents. I'm not Evander Holyfield.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, and that's okay. Like that's the problem that all of these things where it's like we want
I'm not Shaquille
equity.
O'Neal.
They like when they say they want equity, they want everybody to be just that same cut block, but it's just impossible. Somebody will always be taller, somebody will always be a little stronger, somebody will always be a little shorter. Like
Quicker.
it's so insane. Yeah, a little
More
quicker. It's
agile.
just what happens when you're born. Like you work on your strengths, you work on your weaknesses, whatever you want to do. Like stop pulling a Will Wheaton and blaming things that you definitely have control over.
Yeah, I was thinking of Messi. It just came to me.
Messi.
is what I was thinking about.
I was gonna say Neymar, but I was like, that's not right.
He's Brazilian too.
Yeah, he's Brazil.
I think he's on that French team with Messi though. I think
I think
they're both
so.
on, like they're. I think
Messi
they got,
had a
like,
bunch of like different trades this last season, so I can't remember.
Yeah, he went. I know he's on that French. He's on some French team now. I think I was reading. But anyways, like
oh, yeah,
so.
Paris Saint-Germain.
this is-
That's right.
Yes, that's it. So I can't stand this. It continues to other us. Like, what are you talking about? Like, So then she says, so the idea that a society of women would be more communal makes a lot of assumptions about women that are sort of essentialist and really discounts how much of the way women are has to do with what women are asked or forced to do culturally. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that the assumptions that we had came from Marston, who created Themyscira and the Amazons and Wonder Woman, and that's probably why we have those assumptions, because he created it back in like 1939 or something like that. I feel like. So that might be why we have those assumptions. I don't know. I always find that really weird too when like people push these assumptions. Like I always kind of push back on this stuff too, because like I just think of my own grandmother. She was when my grandfather was in the coal mines in West Virginia working. She was running the farm.
That's cool.
She wasn't like just sitting around like on her rocking chair like
sipping
doing
lemonade.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was out there running the farm, like keeping the kid, like keeping all those. She had like 8 kids, 8 or 9 kids.
Dang.
And she's making sure they're doing all the stuff that they need to do, keeping them in work. Even my other grandmother on my mom's side, she was working too. Like she just didn't sit around and stay at home. She worked a lot to help with her family, and whether it was like just smaller jobs or had like a part-time job at the hospital. So it's just ridiculous that the assumptions that these. I mean, I think it's again they're rewriting history. They want you to think that everything was Mad Men.
Yep.
In the 50s, and it's like, no, that's literally doesn't even make. If you even think about it, doesn't even make sense. Like Mad Men in the 50s. What happened? Like, what happened to Rosie the Riveter with all the women working in the factories?
And that's and like, and again,
too.
And Mad Men is this like small microcosm of a microcosm,
Yeah.
like
It's
advertising
literally
work. That's like
elite New York.
Yeah,
City.
like what are you talking about? Like,
But I think that's what everyone like has this. That's where the assumption is that everyone has this vision of what happened. It's like, well, if you actually talk to your family, like that's not what happened. Like I even talked to Kate's grandmother who just turned 96, I think.
Oh, wow.
95, 96.
that's
And she's out there picking cotton and stuff in the fields of Alabama. So
cool.
it's like ridiculous stuff that they. I mean, even her aunts. They were like they were working working at a diner, working at a drive-through, working at they did a restaurant together. So as well, they've been working too. So I don't know. I just don't buy this idea that she's talking about, even with these assumptions about women that are like you have different women that don't like each other. Just look at politics today. You got Boebert.
I was gonna say. I was literally.
AOC,
that was exactly
or,
what I was gonna
Marjorie Taylor Greene and Ilhan
Anybody on the
Omar.
other side. Oh yeah,
So,
Yellow
like,
Phone, perfect.
Like I don't know. I don't like this. Doesn't make any sense to me. And putting like I don't know.
It's like the insidious thing here is that they're trying to put this. Like the way Kelly Sue frames this is men are the ones who keep putting us on pedestals and keep trying to make sure we're not like those terrible awful men. But as a bunch of people realize, like in the chat with me, that's all them. That's all these authors.
Right.
These are all of them, the ones who women can't get hurt. We all know like plot armor. If you've got a character who's like any sort of non-white or non-male, plot armor, they're not getting touched. That's all on you guys because of what you wanted. Don't put this on men. Like it's such a lie. It's so disingenuous.
She's also trying to say that, like right here, she's saying here the way women are has to do with what women are asked or forced to do culturally. Look at across different cultures.
I know
a lot of women are doing the same things, like they're the ones raising the kids usually. That's not to say there aren't exceptions, but like you can look at China, you can look at Russia, you can look at US.
Mm-hmm.
The women
it's just
are
one of those natural roles that we humans have. There's a natural flow to being a life form, like not just a human, like a dog or a bird or a fish. Like you just lull into these roles, and yeah, like John said, there can be exceptions, but they're not as common as the regular flow of nature.
Yeah, and then also if you drill down outside of the elite and you look at like what women are doing that like aren't like I don't know, aren't like the Queen of England or or like or something like that. I mean, they're grinding away just like the men are now in our culture, especially
especially in our culture. I disagree with. Yeah. I think it bites.
But yeah, so then she goes here on to say the negative versions of this are really easy to cite. Like women are not forthright. Women don't ask for what they want. Like there's literally studies about this, about pay, like that they don't with compared to men. Women are manipulative to get what they want. I think that's a stereotype because that
it happens.
A lot of women do that. There's a reason. Are you okay?
I think I got a little Johnny Depp in my throat. That sounded worse. That sounded worse than it did in my head. Damn.
I was gonna. Yeah, that sounded really bad. Where's Dom with the bell?
I know, seriously, Dom.
I was gonna say, did the pirates get you or something? You beat me too. You said that before I could land my.
That would have been better, and I wouldn't have looked like a dork.
There's a reason why there's like a character called Black Widow.
and a whole thing. It's a whole character type.
Yeah.
Femme fatales.
Yeah. They do it in backhanded ways, right? For centuries, women's safety has depended upon the comfort of the men around them.
Yes.
Yeah. And so prioritizing the comfort of those men and getting their own needs met in a way that didn't appear demanding or burdensome was a survival adaptation.
That's such garbage. Like the way she frames this is the way that like it makes it sound like they got nothing out of it. Like it was just that they make it sound like slavery. When in reality, like you depended on us for protection, but we also depended on you to raise make kids and and like gather food when we're out, doing other things. Like it's a give and take. It's not just you do this and I sit here on my throne, Will Wheaton style.
Yeah, and give edicts.
Give edicts from your throne. It's easy to sit here.
Yeah, it's prioritizing the comfort of those men and getting their own needs met in a way that didn't appear demanding or burdensome. The way she frames that is she's totally like women are the victim, men are like oppressing them, like blah blah blah. It's like, well, maybe they actually liked each other and loved each other and wanted to build a great society together. Like maybe that's possible.
Not to them. We know not to them, not to all the Marxism and all that crap. Like we know that's destroy all like nuclear family and all that crap. Like,
and then she concludes saying, "So when we talk about the society of Amazon warriors, we're talking about a society of warriors, and the idea of warriors existing to protect peace transcends gender and is just a historical notion. That's why we apparently have a standing army today." Wow, sarcasm much? She's literally like, is she advocating that we shouldn't have a standing army, like that people shouldn't that our nation shouldn't defend itself? That is what she's saying. She's literally saying like the idea of having a standing army to protect you because you're peaceful. That's such a contradiction, and it's like no, it's really not. It's called deterrence, and it works. Yeah. Like, why do you think people built walls around their city? It was to keep bad people out that were going to try and burn them down and take all their women and do horrible things to their women.
Like, go ahead, go over to claim some plot of land and say, this is our nation now. Get your economy going. Get all the stuff going. And then say, we're not going to defend ourselves, by the way. Have fun.
Perfect example is the Tinkerers in Wheel of Time. They follow this thing called the Way of the Leaf. And they don't believe in violence. So what ends up happening is they run or they get killed.
Yeah, there you go. That's literally the only two options you have.
Yeah, most people don't operate that way.
Mm-mm.
It takes a really powerful ideology, I think, to do that. And clearly the Tinkerers do have that powerful ideology built, at least in the original books.
Yeah,
doesn't seem like they have it in the show, because like the young kid is like, the Way of the Leaf is fake, and I don't believe it. But yeah, so I don't. It's just like even in a society of war, like. So when we talk about the society of Amazon warriors, we're talking about society of warriors, and the idea of warriors existing to protect peace transcends gender, and it's just a historical notion.
Pardon me.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because they still they're defending things or they're attacking things. That's what warriors do. Right. That's what all warriors do. Exactly. So I don't think there's anything particularly new or incongruous about that. Where people have the hiccup is like, but they're women.
Literally shut your
who?
Nobody.
I'm so confused. Who has a hiccup about the Amazons being warrior women? Like,
literally nobody. Forever. This is a straw man. We're seeing it in front of us. This person does not exist. There is not one person who says, why are the Amazons women? That's the entire point. Like, we get it because that's their character. Like, that's their society. Those are the rules. Like, you even say right there, Kate, like Kelly, like I don't think there's anything particularly new or incongruous about that. There isn't. So nobody would have a problem with it. Literally nobody had a problem with it. Stop trying to. They're doing the thing where they set up the narrative early, so when it craps, they can go, well, you see, I told you people had an issue with, and then the CBR will cite this and be like, even before the book came out, there were rumblings of misogyny, and it's just going to be this quote. There will be nothing else quoted.
I'm actually surprised they didn't. I'm actually surprised they didn't see us. Well, I don't read their site, so I don't know. But
yeah, I know. I don't know either.
So then she goes on. They get this Jaffe person asks, Wonder Woman in the history of the Amazons isn't just a story about women. It's also a story going back to Marston, which historians and literary theorists have often analyzed for themes of queerness and open sexuality. What roles do those play in your Amazon history? Hi, my name is Kelly Sue DeConnick. I wrote the book, but I don't think I'm qualified because I'm a cis straight woman to answer that. So let me pass it on to my co-writer and artist.
I think it's Phil Jimenez is just gay, so but he's also a man.
That's exactly why. I think he is the co-writer though, and he's the artist.
I knew he was the artist.
That's what I saw. So, but his answer is also quite enlightening. So I have thoughts, but I want to address something. I use queer in the broadest possible sense. I don't think of it exclusively in terms of sexuality, so much as the notion of the queering of the world. I think of being queer as being anti-tradition, anti-patriarchal, as something that upends kind of a traditional and often conservative, regressive point of view.
So they're literally politicizing the identity. That's like, look at what he's doing here. Like,
so the way I use queer is a huge part of it. Yeah.
It's so gross.
It also doesn't make any sense given the fact that the Amazons are all about tradition, given the fact that they're a warrior culture based in Greece.
And still remain like to this day apart from the world of man. Like that is literally the whole crux of Wonder Woman's story, is that if she goes to our world, she has to say goodbye to Amazonia, or Themyscira.
Themyscira.
Just read one comic.
And also their whole culture is based off of
it's not that great, but do it. Yeah, exactly. This is so bad.
How do you think they maintain their culture? It's through maintaining their traditional practices. So, I mean, clearly they have they're going to be preaching to you in this book.
Dude, Buddy brings up a great point. Defying tradition for Amazons would be letting men in. So how's the story going to go?
Yeah, exactly. Good. Yeah.
It's a great point.
But it's anti-patriarchal, so they'll be like men slaves or something.
God. Or it'll just be such a heavy-handed like they'll put him in some slave role and he'll complain about it and they'll be like, no, you know how we feel in your world, and it's going to be and then just put my head through the desk.
Yeah. So then he goes on to say, well, we all know the Marston stuff was mired in Marston's own fetishized view of sex and women, but it's still amazing work to me because of the fact that this was 1942, the middle of World War II, and it was so clear and obvious on the page. It's still quite stunning as a historical artifact. That said, of course, the 50s came along, as well as the Comics Code Authority, and sort of eradicated that part of Wonder Woman up to the 80s when Perez reintroduced it. What's interesting to me academically is the discussion between homosexual representation and queer representation, which I don't always think are the same thing. I actually think, quite frankly, and maybe personally, just having me on the book makes it queer. I bring a certain sensibility to it. One of the things I really loved about this process was that Kelly Sue and I came from two very complementary socio-political ideologies, and we brought that to the work.
That term right there, socio-political ideologies, I use that term in our reporting because that's the nice way of saying woke. This is, and that's exactly complementary socio-political ideologies means we both, orange man bad.
She's a radical feminist, and
exactly.
He's an LGBT activist. That's what they're saying. What's what he's saying.
Oh, I get that. Yeah.
Without describing what their radical left-wing ideologies are. At least that's what my takeaway from that is.
Hey, it's a good reading. It's one I didn't think of.
I
Or
love this
didn't
work
see, rather.
because it is, to me, clearly the work of a woman, and maybe less clearly, but certainly I can see it, the work of a gay dude. Well, I hope you can see that you worked on it.
I know, right? Like,
So I think it is inherently queer in its way. Again, using my broader definition of queer, it just has a profound feminist. Like, there you go.
there it is. It's right there.
Feminist point of view, and then he says like he worked on a gay dude too. So like I beat him to
You
it.
did it. You did it. You got it right there.
And that thrills me because I think that queers our industry a little bit.
Like,
do
it's
like
so
the artwork, I'm
insidious
not gonna
because
lie.
Phil Jimenez is a great artist. Like,
Yeah.
don't knock him for anything. Like,
Look at
but
that
that's
peacock.
the insidious thing. He like keeps switching in the use of the term queer. It's like, oh yeah, this is queer gay. Oh, but no, now I mean queer socio-political radicalism or whatever. And so he's trying to weave it together so that it becomes the same thing. And that's such a disingenuous way to argue from. And that's just another weapon they're trying to set themselves up for.
YouTube me says that both Spencer and I are talking too much, and you need to get Josh talking a little bit more. All right, so give us your thoughts, Josh.
I'll take a bio break. It's all yours.
Oh God. I was actually just talking to YouTube me, telling him that I'm not really well versed in this particular topic. So I was like, I can actually, just give my opinion on the whole aspect of the trying to change something just because it offends them. But other than that, I just don't really understand all of these changes. I do believe that all of those 50 hours she put into her research, though, are legit. Though I really do believe that she did that and just tries to find everything that offended her and get out and just try to change that as much as she could for the thing. So I do believe that she did the research, but for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I that's probably accurate. I probably believe that. All right, let's move on to this. I think this is the last part. Yeah, here we go. From the first page, the story seeks to correct a lot of common misconceptions and introduce new ideas about Amazon society in great detail. What would be one lesson that you hope readers learn after reading Historia? So, like, it's not about like, hey, you wrote a comic book, you're going to be entertained, there's going to be a lot of action, it's going to be exciting. It's what lesson will your readers learn? It's not like the question isn't even like, what do you hope your readers take away? I hope they had an awesome time and they enjoyed like the freaking like all the action sequences and the great art and the cool story, and they want more. No, it's like, what are you going to teach your readers about how bad they are? So DeConnick answers, I'm more focused on questions than I am on answers. I don't tend to think of myself as a teacher, although we also do talk about the book as if it's a textbook for a history of the Amazons that is intended for an audience of young Amazons so they can learn the history of their people from their people's perspective. And I guess the thing I would want you to take away from it is the idea of questioning the version of history that you have always been fed. It says it on that first page, right? And the reason that first page has no images is because we wanted to begin with the idea of tabula rasa. Our opening contract with you is forget everything you think you know. The narrator says history is written by the victors, and in the war between the Amazons and the gods of men, the Amazons lost. So the version that you have read was written by our oppressors. She thinks she's an Amazon. Our oppressors. She thinks she's one of Wonder Woman's sisters. Nerdigans is like, then why are you writing this? Probably there is no objective history, and the truth may lie somewhere between absolutely 100% false. That is absolutely false. There is objective history. That doesn't mean that the people telling us the history are objective. But you've heard theirs, this is ours. And if there's a thing to be taught, it is to consider the source. Remember that history is stories. Yes, that is. I will agree with that. I do agree with this. History is stories that are passed down. They're told by different people. Those stories can be told in different ways. Like I can tell you right now that yesterday was the anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor, and the attack on Pearl Harbor like physically happened in time and space on December 7th, 1941. Like that happened. That's like objective. Like that event happened. Like you can't say that the truth may lie somewhere between. Like, no, the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941.
Which is funny because the last sentence kind of rebukes the entire article, the entire interview. It's just like, remember the story. It's like, okay, then why the rest of the interview?
Yeah, didn't she say up here? What did she say? She said something about like she wasn't trying to tell a history or something, right? Yeah, she said I wasn't actually overly interested in actual history because this isn't really that story. But then she recommends all these things. But then she says this, which is real history, right?
No.
But wait, I thought history was just story. I don't understand.
Yeah, so the whole thing actually contradicts itself. And she doesn't probably doesn't even understand what she's doing. She's making all these changes.
Nerdigan says the truth doesn't always lie in your feelings of delusions. Put down the LSD. People who make it clear they aren't interested in following the old material want us to question history. Nobody, I repeat, nobody wants to read a textbook.
I don't think anyone wants to read that either. Like because it's just think about the sales. I don't think they think about the sales when they just try to make all these changes that they know fans.
Kelly Sue DeConnick does. I don't think she thinks about it when she's doing work for hire stuff, but she does think about it for create her own stuff. Because we actually have a. I found this old interview. This person got really got snippy at me. Because I included her YouTube video. She was like, "Remove my YouTube video from your article." Because like here, like this person. She got so upset. She got so angry. But yeah, so this is what I was talking about. Don't buy my book. Yeah, this was when I was having some fun with the the featured images. I was using Canva's like they have like a couple of speech bubbles. She actually said that. That's actually a quote. But so she said this like, don't buy my book in Sci-Fi Wire like back in 2017. But then she did this interview with the KGW person nerd. She got upset at like that I did an article on her interview with DeConnick because I did like completely like because it's not like it has bad answers to her questions, but she says here that she says that's hard because from our perspective the industry has contracted and we're very worried about comics right now. So it's always interesting to me that the outside perspective is always comics are booming. That's only this woman's. That's like clearly that's not always the outside perspective because if you've been following us, you've been following Clownfish, Yellow Flash, Tug when he was that Umbrella guy when he was actually doing comics. Ethan, your boy Zach. Like, there's so many people like Eric July, Gary. Like Gary was like owned a comic shop and he like sold it, and the guy was like the guy he sold it to was about to shut down the shop because he wasn't making any money selling comics. So the outside perspective has not always been always comics are booming. That's just her like freaking bubble.
Can she like even say otherwise? Like, she's a Marvel writer. Is she contractually allowed to say work?
Oh, she's DC now.
Or DC, yeah.
Yeah.
She's a big two writer. I feel like.
Well, remember, I brought up. We went back to this article from September, and how because Josh was like, she probably doesn't even care about the sales, and I was like, well, she does. She's
Yeah, because she's chiming in.
back here in September. Like, I don't even know when this is from. I think this is from like this is, I don't remember when this. I found this video. This person was upset that we were giving her video views. Like,
Dude, it's so weird. It's like, what did you want?
just look at trash.
Yeah.
I mean, at least she still has her red hair. I don't know. They just like Aquaman is just terrible in it.
Never forget that Captain Marvel just took her name. She didn't earn it.
Can I zoom in on this? Like, this is from her comic. I am, however, improbably Queen of Atlantis, and I'm good at it. And you have a home and responsibilities on land in Amnesty Bay and with the Justice League. You just said it. You almost die saving the world twice a week. Once a month, tops. Why can't you take this seriously?
Oh, we're gonna be getting that in Thor: Love and Thunder, right?
Oh,
With Valkyrie as a queen.
Probably.
Well, they'll do that too. They'll definitely do that too, because we'll definitely get this scene in Aquaman 2 as well.
It'll be really interesting. It'll be the real test for Marvel. Won't be Spider-Man. It will be either Guardians 3 or Thor, whichever one comes out.
Yeah, that is true.
That will be the real test, because Spider-Man is literally,
it's banking on all those member.
It's an Avengers film. It's literally
essentially that too. Yeah, because of Strange and.
Yeah, Strange and just so many villains.
Yeah, that's true. It's an ensemble film.
Doc, Green Goblin, Lizard, and Electro.
Possibly, maybe Venom.
Yeah, because we can tell. Could be Venom or Lizard. I think it's probably.
I think that shot was just Lizard. I'm just going off of the Carnage post-credit scene.
The what?
The post-credit scene from Let There Be Carnage. From
right.
Sequel,
I
where
think
he just goes to the MCU. So
I think that's further down the line.
who knows?
I haven't seen that movie yet.
I haven't seen any of the Venom films.
Well, the first one is just fun-ish.
That's ish. Yeah.
It's like it depends. It's not a bad movie, but it's not a good movie. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, right. That's exactly like to me. They're the perfect like FX movie. You know, like it's on Sunday afternoon, and you go, "Why not? I'll put it on." And you go, "That was all right. That was all right." That's what you get out of it.
That's it. I didn't feel like it wasted my time, but I just don't want to watch it again.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was, Josh. Yep.
Right. Yeah. When it's Spider-Man, I don't know what the after credit scene in Venom Let There Be Carnage is, but I assume it's I don't want to spoil it for anyone because
I mean we've talked about it on stream before, so it's okay. But
we do spoilers.
Yeah, the post credit scene is just Eddie and Venom are sitting on a bed in a hotel, and then all of a sudden weirdness happens to the room, and they show up in a like nice hotel room, and on the TV is that news report from the end of Far From Home, where it's like J. Jonah Jameson talking about Peter Parker like being Spider-Man, and then he like licks and then he like licks the screen, or like Venom licks the screen, and then
you see Spider-Man.
It's a weird thing though, John. Like I noticed he has a line, because in that post-credit scene they're like sitting on this bed and he's kind of just talking to Venom, and they're just having like a conversation, and he says something about like, you would never understand the Hive, or he's like, tell me more. Like, I don't like what is going on. He's like, you would never understand if I connected you to the Hive. You would be blown away by all of the knowledge of every symbiote across every universe. So it's like, oh, so now every symbiote, like, so is that Topher Grace's symbiote? Who knows? I don't know. It was something weird I noted.
Yeah. And also it could be Gore.
Oh, yeah.
Too, because Gore the God Butcher showing up in Thor: Love and Thunder, played by Christian Bale. And Gore the God Thunder wields Null as like a sword, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All that Null stuff is crazy weird.
It was kind of cool in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie.
It was cool in the beginning, but
stopped, and then you said it just like went in.
It's just the Marvel thing. Like everything is a cosmic world-ending threat, and it's just
He went Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Yeah, it went Cosmic Ghost Rider. It went Cosmic Eddie. Eddie becomes Cosmic Venom. Like, it just gets weird, and I don't know, man. I don't know.
No one is no one can be friendly neighborhood Spider-Man anymore.
Nope, nobody can be a hero.
Can't be Daredevil. Can't be Punisher. There's no like street stuff. It's got to be bigger
It's
than
all right.
everything.
It's all got to be bigger than everything, and it's just like
I wonder if they don't do like street crime stuff because of their left-wing position on crime.
that's a. I didn't even.
I
think
just
about it.
like
Didn't
I
even
was like,
think about it.
It kind of
Whoa.
makes
maybe that's why he doesn't
It,
fight
right,
crime. on
yeah,
the
it does
streets
make
of
a
New
lot
York.
of sense. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
It's like we gotta have like alien invaders, like or
It's
some
why
kind of,
they
like-
it's why they keep him off. Yeah, like what is Spider-Man fought in all of his movies? He fought disgruntled blue collar workers. So read into that how you want to read into that.
yeah.
he fought-
in the MCU.
Yeah, in the MCU.
Right.
MCU. In Far From Home, they literally had to take him to a different continent and fight like
Right.
a super villain. And then
He
in this
fights
next
another
one,
disgruntled Stark.
that's
employee.
true. Yeah, another disgruntled Stark employee, and now we're going to get Far From Home, which is just not. I mean, there's no disgruntled Stark employee, but it's essentially it's not street level. He's not fighting crime. He's fighting the. You know what? He's fighting
He's
the
fighting-
multiverse. Like
He's fighting two scientists and a CEO.
let's see, he's got
And Elektra's a scientist too, I guess, right?
yeah, Elektra's a scientist.
So 3 scientists.
Doc Ock's a scientist. Green Goblin's a scientist. Lizard's a scientist.
Scientists, yeah.
So everybody but Sandman.
Yeah, I
And
guess.
Venom if
I
he
guess.
shows up.
Yeah, I guess. Goblin's a scientist too, I guess.
No, Goblin's the
like
CEO
the
on
CEO, right.
Santa's board of directors.
But because he's not the one who develops the formula. It's some other guy, right? And
It's like his company.
funding
Yeah,
right, and he's funding it.
you can't do this to me. This is my company.
Because he's about to go under. So his company's about to go under, and he needs like a new contract or something. So he wants the super soldier serum to work.
That's exactly it. Yep. And they go, no, it's not
Good
ready.
question.
And he goes, I don't care.
I'll be the test subject or whatever. Yeah.
Then he has the best one.
Um,
That's like my favorite Willem Dafoe scene from every movie is when he's the first goblin, like when he first goblins out and he goes like, ah. And he
It also shows you how freaking awesome Dr. I always get this wrong. Mr. Jekyll, right? Is it Mr. Hyde and Dr. Jekyll, right?
yeah.
How awesome
I always
that
get them mixed up too.
How awesome that theme is, that it works for so many
And on
different
so many different stories
characters.
and settings. And yeah, right.
Yeah. It's not just the Hulk. Even Spider-Man kind of has it with when Venom is attached to him.
Yeah. No,
You
sorry.
could even
about that.
argue that you could even argue that Venom is
Oh, I would
Is that
definitely
scene
say Venom is
too?
a Jekyll Heidi type thing. That's why he's
Yeah.
a lot of fun when he is connected to Spider-Man because it is
Right.
very much like taken to the extreme almost.
right. All right, what else did we say we're going to talk about, or do we just want to keep talking Spider-Man?
Yeah, like and like I watched Venom last week because I was bored and I was editing stuff, so I was like, I'm just gonna throw up a movie, and that movie is not. It's kind of worse than the first one, if you can believe it. It's so weird.
The Carnage one?
There's a lot of stuff that's just thrown in there. It's really quick. A lot of it doesn't make sense.
I don't like the Spider-Man movies. The
Which
Marvel
ones?
ones.
Oh, the Marvel ones. I didn't like Far From Home. I liked Homecoming.
Far From Home. So I hadn't seen them.
Mhm.
Far From Home is coming out. Kate goes and buys the Blu-ray for
Random.
Homecoming.
Yeah.
Because she wants to go see Far From Home, so she's like, I gotta watch this one.
I gotta get the
which
first
is
one.
really strange because my wife usually has absolutely zero interest in.
I know. That's why I
Comic
said
book
like,
movies.
that's
She goes to watch them because I'm going there. Like that's why she goes to watch that stuff. And so she went and got it. We sat there and watched it, and I was like, okay, this ain't. Is it? I mean, Keaton Keaton carries that film
Oh,
as
yes,
far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't know, the Tony Stark lectures. Yeah, I don't know. I could just
Like I
know,
didn't
it's
like that part. Like
It's not
what
Spider-Man.
Like that's what I was literally about to say. Like I like the grounded stuff, like the high schooly stuff, admittedly, because that's like the teenage Spider-Man. But then once you get the Tony stuff, it gets weird. And then like the whole ending thing with like, again, a big CGI mess with that plane trying to like go invisible. And again, it's Tony Stark stuff. Yeah, no, I'm there with you. Yeah, because it's like whatever. Like I only remember that because I watched that clip like the other day, like 2 days ago.
I just remember like Vulture like coming into like a warehouse or something and like
I remember that too. Yeah,
it's like a warehouse fight.
Like he does the cool air thing where he like drops and then like pops himself.
I will say that they did
like
some cool stuff with Vulture.
I thought they did it. I thought Vulture was great. I thought that was a good way to like update him because honestly, you can't have like a 90-year-old dude. It's just that's too much suspension of disbelief.
And then Far From Home, I just felt like it was a remake of Homecoming for the most part.
Exactly how I felt about it.
Mysterio is just a cheap almost like literally a cheap knockoff. I felt like of Vulture.
Mm-hmm.
And the
they
plot
have slightly different motives, but it's all the same thing. It's all Tony Stark screwed me over. I'm gonna take it out on the world.
And we didn't really get like, I don't know. There weren't really any of those like high school moments that the first one even had.
Because
like there's the one moment where they're trying to frame him with like nudes and stuff,
which is like, it's not relatable because that's too slapsticky. Like it's one of those situations that is so wacky that it doesn't work in your grounded setting. Like you grounded the setting too much to make those weird jokes happen. Like, wouldn't you question more of the fact, like, where did that woman come from? How did Peter pick up that woman? Like, that's what I would be questioning more than like, you're naked. Like, it's so weird. Like I think of that movie and there's only one part I really can say that I truly liked. And it is at the very end when he is walking towards Mysterio in the hallway and he grabs the gun. Like he uses his spider sense and he like gets the invisible Mysterio. That's the only cool part to me. Because that's the only real Spider-Man-y part.
Oh, right. Where he's using his Spidey sense.
Exactly. And it's
the only never seen him use.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Like, he doesn't use it. What's going on?
I think he had it a little bit when he dropped off Zendaya in like that theater. But he already kind of knew.
Oh, yeah. He already kind of knew what was going on. Yeah, he was already in the middle of the fight. The only other time I can remember.
I think there was like an earthquake or something.
There's the Infinity War moment where he's like on the bus and his like hair stands up and he looks behind him and he sees the ring.
He has to go. He rolls out. He has Ned distract everyone.
I like that scene because it's like, hey, do a distraction, but he's like legitimately scared.
Yeah, I like that scene too. I think Infinity War. I really enjoy Infinity War.
Oh yeah, Infinity War is
the only issue with Infinity War is Thanos' motivation.
Mm-hmm.
The whole like I have to kill half of all people because resources.
But you're also killing half the resources.
Because my planet was destroyed. It's like, no, dude, they should have just left. Like him being obsessed with death is a much.
It's so much cooler.
It's evil. It's a much more evil thing too.
It's a much more evil thing. It's a much more darker thing. And you already had Hela. You had that connection set up in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
You could have been like, "Oh, you've met the woman I love," or whatever. And
it doesn't even have to be. You could even just have it. You could have actually introduced like Marvel's version of death.
I know it could have been really cool. Like, imagine if it's like Thanos goes up against Thor or whatever, and he talks about Hela, and Hela shows up and she's like, "I am death" or whatever, and Thanos goes like, You work for her, but like you're not her. That's not death,
right?
And Thor is like, "That is death," and then Thanos kills her, and death like actually appears. That would be so cool. And
I think one of the problems they ran into is they kind of turned Red Skull into death.
Yeah, they kind of did.
But
with like
he kind of takes her shape,
motivation, takes her shape, her costume is talking about sacrifices and all that sort of stuff. It's just without Thanos being in love with her, and that's like the best.
I also think there's something to her, just like kind of in the comics. She just like I know in the origin she kind of she says a couple words to him, but I just like how she appears and like doesn't say anything.
And Thanos like that's the best. Like I think of Infinity War when like everybody like the comics like when everybody's dead, or Infinity Gauntlet and Death shows up and he's the last one and he's like, "I did it." And she doesn't say anything. And Thanos starts to like lose his mind. He's like, "Say anything. I did this for you." It's so good.
Can you imagine like so you have Infinity War. He does all of that. You actually have the real death. The Soul Stone stuff is stupid. You don't have to. The Soul Stone stuff. I don't know. That's also an issue, like an iffy thing how they did that. But anyways, we'll just move past that. But you have Infinity War. It's actually he's killing everyone because of death. The Soul Stone isn't like sacrificing someone; it's just another stone you find.
Another stone you find, yeah.
And then you get the beginning of like Endgame, and you get a scene with him on the farm after he's like completed. He's like actually killed everyone dies. He kills everyone, right?
Right.
And you get that scene where he's just like going crazy on the farm.
That would have been so cool.
And then like a celestial shows up, like the celestials show up, right?
Oh,
and
that would have
then-
made Eternals make way more sense.
Yeah, and so or you could have had the Eternals show up then or something.
Or even better. Gosh, that would have been cool. And
Oh.
it would have been better too to have him like rewind time like he does or whatever to like go defeat himself, because I hate the Endgame time travel plot. Like aside from the time heist, but like
Yeah.
Thanos' whole thing where like I hacked Nebula and now I'm gonna take my fleet into the future. Yeah. It's like, what is happening? Like, this is not as like, okay, we get the fight, but was this worth killing Thanos in the very beginning? Like, no.
Yeah.
You should have had him keep going or something. Like,
you would have had him like Time Stone.
I would have even brought like what I would have done is I would have had him like start wiping everybody, start trying to kill everybody, and then at the very end, when he has that breakdown, like you might not have like he has that breakdown, and then he starts like, "What do you want from me? Do you want more?" And he, like, what if he just like starts bringing the Avengers back and beating them again, like with the Time Stone, and that's like, and then but he keeps bringing them back, and they eventually defeat him.
No, what happens is he uses the Space Stone and begins attacking the multiverse like DC does with the freaking, what is it called? Oh my gosh, the Anti-Monitor.
The Anti-Monitor. I can see that.
Yeah.
There's your multiverse connection.
So then you have Thanos being like literally multiverse conqueror or something like that.
That would have been really cool, dude. And then Kang.
Yeah.
That could have been Phase 4. It's like a war versus Thanos and Kang.
Yeah. And that gives you alternate versions of
all the characters you want to use.
Of all the characters too. And like, but can you imagine just like you kill everyone?
Dude, it would be so dark. Like, that's an ending. That is it would have been so good. It was that
says they should have Thanos with Hell in replacement of Death. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. I think that's fine. They wouldn't have to recast a new person. I think that's. I mean, I definitely would be.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. Like,
connection. Yeah, Bunny says that. You suggested that too. Yeah, which I'm fine with. I just didn't like the idea that he kind of kills Hela that you suggested. I was like,
yeah,
she should still
like that's not really death. Yeah, like I like it.
I think that works if you don't want to use Hela at all anymore.
Well, I mean, I don't think that we've heard nothing from them.
I guess you could bring her back in the multiverse anyways, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I just literally I did like that. I felt like, as much as I dislike Ragnarok, I felt like Hela's character was actually kind of interesting.
Oh, it totally was.
I know, like, clearly there's a reason why they made her a villain, because she's like a colonizer or whatever.
Yeah.
And but I would have really liked to have like known more about her history with Odin and the history of Asgard.
I mean, the mural, like,
yeah,
I want to explore that.
That's probably the main problem with the movie, is that you have an interesting villain and you don't really do anything with it.
That
100%. That and aside from her killing everyone on Asgard, that she can, who doesn't submit to her, Thor, like, I don't know, Thor doesn't have like a real reason to oppose her. Like in the beginning, he doesn't. There's no like, he's just like, you seem to be a bad person, and you destroyed Mjolnir. Or like I think at first she wants them to kneel or whatever. They refuse, and then he just like tosses the hammer at her. She crushes it, and then Heimdall summons the Rainbow Bridge, and she like is able to like get in it too. But I felt like Thor needed a better motivation to oppose her.
He did because it just went like
he didn't know she was killing everyone on Asgard.
Because he side quested and then he just came back.
Yeah, I guess he kind of knows a little bit from what Heimdall tells him that they're on the run, and he's trying to keep people
like
away.
He knows there's danger, but he doesn't know like the scale of it. He just shows up because it's generic danger rather than like the kingdom is at stake, and then he just blows up the kingdom.
I just felt like there was such a missed opportunity. I guess this is what I'm really trying to say. There's such a missed opportunity
Absolutely.
to have like a legitimate clash between Hela's ideas of what Asgard should be and Thor's ideas, and they totally didn't do that. Instead, they have Surtur just kill her. And she's kind of just wasted.
Yeah, no,
Which
she's
is
just
what you
gone.
said,
She's just done.
All right, it is midnight.
Wow.
Do you want to do one more topic, or do you want to wrap it up here?
I'm good for one more. I'm good to go. If everybody wants to hang out. I don't want that Netflix movie, man. That was the first. As soon as I saw Mega Man was going to Netflix, I messaged Josh and I was like, Josh, I hate it.
Yeah.
What is oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Right. No, it's just like I told them. Well, that movie had red flags all over. When it was announced, it was like, oh, okay, come on now. Especially because they had. I remember being excited when they announced the animated show that it was really, really bad. Like it came out like 2-3 years ago, and it had like 5 episodes, and it was canceled.
I know. I can't believe it. Like
it
so
was
bad.
really, 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 really bad. It was like a slap across the face. No, you don't want Mega Man ever being adapted unless it's like real anime. And
right, like you got to go all the way. You got to.
Right.
It's basically got to be like CG or like Sonic.
Yeah. And I thought that they could.
I think Gundam works in a live action.
Oh, I think so. Because it's just like, I mean, we got a real Gundam in Japan right now.
Oh, we saw it in whatever that horrible Spielberg movie was.
Oh, Ready Player One.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
the Gundam was the best part.
It was absolutely the best part. All 3 seconds of it, fighting Godzilla.
Yep. Volume Dealers asking what's the thumbnail. It was from Anne Boleyn. Her necklace is the black pill. It's from the race swapped Anne Boleyn that was on Channel 5. It's coming to AMC Plus tomorrow. We talked about it like
set your clock, set your DVRs.
What is the screen next to your flat screen? It looks like a really old tube TV.
Right, yeah, it's an old 2-3.
That's awesome.
Well, so.
He's got his GameCube hooked up to it. That's what's up.
How else am I going to play Mega Man?
That's what I'm saying. Show up those collections.
Did you want to talk about what was that? Wasn't there something about the JoJo stuff people were getting pissy about? Oh no, that was Vic.
That was Vic. They will never leave him alone. This is getting awful.
Oh wow, you publish a bunch of stuff on the stream.
All I had to do was put some images in.
Yeah, what is going on with this? I have no idea what's happening here. What is going on with Patty Jenkins? She had 3 movies on her that she was doing. She was doing Cleopatra, she was doing Wonder Woman 3, and then she was doing this Rogue Squadron. Now she's dropped out of Cleopatra and she's just producing it now, and replaced by is that her name? Carrie Skoglund?
Yeah, that's how I say it at least.
Skoglund.
Oh,
That's
it could
how
be
you.
Skoglund. I say Skoglund.
Hold on. You guys can see my
his investments.
My BAT that I've earned using my Brave browser.
Yes.
For the month of December. It's like 1.7. Skoglund.
Making money on top of money.
She was the one who where the showrunner didn't know that they were filming in some like historical house, right?
Oh, yeah, that was her.
She actually had picked it, but the showrunner had no idea that's where the director was doing.
She was just like, "Wow, that's so cool."
I don't know. I didn't watch that show, so I don't know if her directing was any good or not. Volume Dealer says new Boba Fett trailer looks good. Got rid of the dad belly. I don't. Are you talking about the new one that came out today? Because I watched it. And it looked the same as every. It looked like so they released a trailer and then they released these 3 clips, and this last clip just looks like the same as the first 2 clips that they included. And maybe there was like 1 or 2 extra shots. I think there's like a new shot of them looking into Jabba the Hutt's
into
pit.
the Rancor pit, yeah,
the Rancor pit. And other than that, it just looked like the same, like everything else we've seen before. It was a lot of member berries. I felt like.
Oh yeah, I mean that's everything Star Wars now.
And I guess you get to see him like coming out of the Sarlacc pit, because they're definitely showing flashbacks because you got him in the
Bacta tank.
Bacta tank. All right, so
Bring back that cool
I do want
robot.
to back to this. So what is she up? What is going on with this? I think we spelled her name wrong.
Carrie Skoglund?
There's a D. Yeah, that's what was throwing me off.
Oh, I had no idea. That's how JB wrote it. I will fix that.
Was she one of the writers in Falcon and the Winter Soldier? I remember
She was
that.
the director.
Yeah.
She was the
Oh
director.
yeah, she was the director. Yeah.
So Patty Jenkins is dumping Cleopatra so she can focus on Wonder Woman 3 and Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
But like just last week, we heard she wasn't
Yeah,
going to do
she
Rogue
was-
Squadron, right? Wasn't that it?
Yeah, because they were having script issues or something
Mhm.
like that.
So I wonder.
Yeah, she said it was coming along good before, like in
Like-
January. I feel
Let's see. Well, I mean, I guess it's like 3 different studio things because Paramount would be Cleopatra, and then Marvel would be or not Marvel, but Disney would be Rogue Squadron, and then DC would be Wonder Woman 3. But I can't imagine who's pulling the strings here. Like, what happened? That's the problem.
Maybe she's like
I
on the
don't
Epstein
know.
list
And she's like,
I'm
what?
one-
on the Epstein list.
Ooh.
Maybe she's like, and this is all like PR stuff. Like she's, before she gets cancelled, maybe she wants to do this.
You bring her
before
back, get the hype as high as you can before it knocks down.
I'm wondering if people just thought they saw that Wonder Woman 1984 movie and were like, "This is trash."
I mean,
And
I've heard nobody.
that's the
actually
only thing
like
I can
it.
think of. DZ
Why they keep
says
switching
Cameron
her
Cautious
around.
says the director they have is just a director without any questions, so I'm not sure if that will help about her. I'm assuming that's the Carrie Skoglund person. That's pretty much what Marvel does now. I think the only people who probably like don't just take orders is Gunn and YTT, but I don't even know. YTT might just take orders too. Who
YTT,
knows?
yeah, we've only seen one movie from him, so
And his
yeah,
Star Wars
Gunn's-
episodes are bad.
they were not good.
Mandalorian. Let me just have this. Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe the script was bad too. But like, even then, like, get some more stormtroopers. Like,
Yeah, seriously,
Don't
you're the
just-
director. Be like, hey, I need some in here, more than 2.
I don't think this robot should be blowing itself up. Like, doesn't
So
make any
dumb.
sense. Yeah, so I'm like really no idea what's going on here. With
Yeah,
this,
I don't either.
We
It
had
is
reports that
really-
this was like delayed indefinitely, and now it's like kind of back on. And does anyone really care about a Wonder Woman 3
I don't-
after the disaster of Wonder Woman 1984?
You've got the disaster of Wonder Woman 1984, and you've got talks of rebooting everything, and we know that she's no longer a part of the DCEU because that doesn't exist anymore, or it does. But like,
well,
it's
Flash
so
is coming. So
I know, but like, is it gonna? It's so confusing over on DC's end that I don't blame people for being like I don't know. I don't know about a Wonder Woman 3. Like I can see so many people just being hands up. Jerry Seinfeld.
Volume Dealer is asking, did we talk about the Star Wars cruise disaster? I don't think we have. I don't know
Oh,
if
are you
we
talking about
reported on it.
the trailer?
The Galactic cruise that they took down, I guess? The trailer they took
Yeah.
down?
Did you see it?
No.
It's so
I don't care
dumb.
I really like. I don't care about anything Star Wars.
I don't either, but everybody was losing their minds over it. It's essentially like one of those cheesy
I mean,
like
we talked
Disney
about it when
promo
we first
things.
Announced the,
But
the Matic.
this trailer though, like it is baffling, John, because it's like
has anyone mirrored it?
yes, it is mirrored. It is. Let me shoot the link over. I think I can find it. Galactic Star Cruiser trailer. Yeah, dude, it is so.
Oh, here we
dumb.
go. We can just watch Star Wars Theory, just like Nerdrotic did. Oh, he's still talking. We don't want to just get to the thing. Wow, those people look fake.
Well,
No,
that was all
person's-
concept art.
She's
those-
totally fake hyping it to some random.
Oh no, it is. It's like that's what I was trying to say. It's like one of those old school, like Disney, like wow,
Oh my
let's promo
gosh.
it, right? Like this dude is such a dork. Look at his
It
shirt.
looks
What's his
like-
jacket? What's even happening there? His collar is on the side.
Why are they white?
That is the question. Man, I love that hat every time.
That is a what is that?
His hat?
You know, it looks like what does that look like?
It says Order 66. It's like the Route 66.
No, not the hat.
Oh,
Not the
oh.
hat.
Oh.
The concept art of the. It does.
It
It, looks like
it.
it.
That looks
It
like
looks like an old '60s like beach cabana place or something.
it looks like that. It also reminds me of like when you are
Jurassic
checking
Park.
into a hotel and you go into the like driveway
Oh, yeah,
covering
that's
and,
what
and
it
it's
is.
just
Yeah.
temporarily there before you
There's
run
no-
back to your car and park it.
There's
but
no
there's no
building.
hotel. Yeah.
I think we've seen all this stuff before. Those people look way too happy. Look,
Concept art. That's
this-
why it's
look
art.
at
It's
it.
art.
This looks like a high school lunchroom.
Food's
That's what it
probably
looks like.
just as good. And you remember $6,000. Yeah, Bunny, $6,000 for
chair-
a family of 4 for 2 nights.
The chairs are a little different, but this looks like my high school lunchroom.
Mm-hmm. It looks like my high school lunchroom tried a bad Star Wars theme. That guy still just looks like Star-Lord to me.
He does. still like two white people. What's going on here?
Best part is it's still just all artist concept.
He does not look impressed.
I don't blame
Oh, there we go. This guy
boy.
does the.
Yeah. Oh,
Is
he's
he
from the
playing his
Goldbergs, I
character?
guess.
Is he playing his character?
I don't know. I've literally never seen the show, but I had no idea that's who it was. He's just a giant dork. Look, he's got his shirt tucked into his pants.
He's wearing a belt. He looks like he's going to church.
Yeah. But not even in like a nice church clothes.
Nope. We're inside. It looks like play school.
Mm-hmm. It looks like a photo op set.
And that stuff looks like play school. Like looks like
It
what
looks
my daughter.
cheap. Yeah, it does not look.
Yeah, plastic.
It doesn't look
buttons.
real. It
No,
looks like an attraction.
Doesn't look like from the movies. Maybe that did a little bit, but that doesn't. It looks like Star Trek almost. What is that kid climbing out of like a trash compactor?
like a trash compactor event, something.
What is going on there? It's got a red light above it. Danger. This guy's like, come on, let's go climb on this.
It looks like it's
Like,
supposed to be like a
steam
kid
is coming out and all these-
so weird.
All these people are like, that guy's got like a Harry Potter wand. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a Harry Potter wand. Look at that Harry Potter wand.
But just like with a metal case.
Oh, we're gambling now. Sponsored by WinBet or whatever the other.
Yeah, seriously, right? Gambling.com.
I think that's supposed to be Sabak, though. It looks like they look like Sabak cards.
Oh yeah, they do. That's always fun to play
Concept art
in KOTOR.
again. This guy's way too excited. Oh, we got a Jedi. Star Wars series, like, zero reaction so far.
He's just like, what am I? Like, this is all stuff we've seen before too. Like all that concept art. Like this is all we've seen before.
Oh,
Oh
We're
boy,
going
we
to
went
light
hyperspeed.
Yeah.
Like, you know what's so dumb? I know that they're gonna cheap out on that moment because like there's not gonna be anything but that screen or like lights.
Oh,
There's
he
gonna be
did
no
stare.
like shaking. Oh man, here we go.
So the trailer was already bad, but hold on, there's more.
oh, he just like
Here's
I
a
don't even know
preview
what
of it.
happened. He just
He stumbled into the Star Wars experience. This is the promo. This is it. This is so weird.
Is she singing?
Yeah,
She's singing.
she's just singing,
Okay. You
and
don't
she
have to
only
pay
sings
$6
for like 30 seconds. Like, look at Star Wars.
No, he's like, this is not good. You know they do this for free at Universal when you go to Harry Potter. They
They do,
literally have people
dude.
come out and sing.
Not just Harry
You don't have
Potter. You can get Optimus to sing to you. You
Yeah.
can get Shrek,
You don't have to pay $6,000.
right?
I'm pretty sure Adele tickets are cheaper than $6,000.
And it'd be a way better performance than this like 2-minute song. Or it's
I
not
don't
even
like
2
this
minutes. It's like,
outfit either.
no, it's not Star Warsy. I don't know what it is. Cool.
It's,
wow.
It's Fifth Element, is what
Yeah,
it is.
that is what it, thank you. That is what I thought too when we were there.
He's like so unimpressed. He's just like, what is going on? He hasn't said a thing yet. He's just like, what is happening? No, he was like, that's it.
He's like, that's it?
What?
That's it?
All right. All right. Oh,
It's so bad.
I feel really sorry for him because his whole channel is Star Wars and it's just going down the tubes.
It's just gone down the tubes, yeah.
YouTube me says Star Wars Theory's soul is buried in Florida sinkhole. Dude's eyes are so far sunken into his skull. She used the sonic screwdriver on a wooden door to lock. What? This is Doctor Who. Do you watch Doctor Who, Josh?
No, don't.
No. She used the sonic screwdriver on a wooden door to lock it.
That's so bad.
Yeah, as the volume dealer is pointing out here, look at his soul being crushed. None of this
Like,
revolves
that's-
around the legacy Star Wars. Yeah, they've never. None of that stuff is.
Remember the
The
Luke
only thing they
Skywalker
have is
character.
the only thing they have is Millennium Falcon.
If
far
that
as
maybe.
No, that's in there. I know that's there. It's like in the Star Wars area.
Oh, you mean in the part? Yeah. I thought you meant like in the
Yeah.
attraction itself.
Oh,
and I was,
I
don't know.
Probably
Yeah.
not. They didn't even like. They're supposed to be like stuff that happens where like the Empire like attacks you.
But that's the thing is like it from that it looks so cheap. Like that moment where he's like hyperspeed. It's going to only be like flashing lights and that screen. There's not going to be any sort of like movement, like in Star Tours or anything. It's
Right.
gonna feel cheap. It's gonna feel like a McDonald's place.
Yeah. Ellie Yap said that trailer got a very savage roasting on FNT
it
last
got-
Friday.
So roasted by everybody that they deleted it.
They deleted the trailer.
They straight up deleted the trailer.
Are people still? I gotta check. Are people still responding on their videos? Let's see if the people are.
Oh
saying it on-
yeah, the Gina.
Well, I'm not seeing it. Looks like they finally stopped.
The steam ran out.
Yeah, I typed in Gina and it's all like the original series is what showed up. Maybe they're just only doing it on certain videos. Let's see. Special look under the helmet, the legacy of Boba Fett.
Or maybe
What
like
is
because it's
this?
more directly related.
Trail of Shadows, a tale from Last Call. Ooh, I think that's our chick. There she is. Yeah, she's
Oh,
still,
hey, it's Acina.
she's still working there.
She's still racist.
Ariel. What's her name? Ariel.
Oh, yeah,
something?
Ariel, not Christina.
That's her, right?
Or Christina
That's
Ariel,
her?
yeah. That's her. Look at that. She's on a second episode.
So she doesn't
in 2
have.
years.
She's not doing in this episode of Star Wars: The High Republic show. Oh, look! They've changed the Star Wars: The High Republic show. It's called Trail of Shadows. It's not called Star Wars: High Republic show anymore.
That's a bad name for a show. That's a good name for one of those podcasts where they tell like a mystery story over like 9 episodes, but that's not a good name for a Star Wars podcast. Should be like the
So I
Yavin
think
Bulletin.
I think that's the first time she's shown up since
Episode 2 of the High
2 months
Republic
here.
show. Yeah.
I have to look it up. She kind of like went into hiding, or they weren't like using her.
All she was doing was appearing like in other people's videos.
Right. YouTube me says twice we cover Anne Boleyn. On Doomcock Street, one of his guests said that a huge amount of the booking opened back up after the trailer came out. Why would you book that even beforehand? It looked like trash anyways.
Because you are
If you have money to spend, I guess.
Yeah, you're a 48-year-old married couple with no kids and nothing better to do than obsess about Star Wars.
Bunny says Trail of Shadows is a good name for when your diuretic dog has used the carpet.
No! I'm having a
Bunny
flashback. That's definitely
has
happened
like
to
the
me.
best takes.
I know, I love Bunny.
I don't know what you guys think about Disney new management next year. Will you think the new management will turn the ship around? Absolutely not.
No.
The new person they brought in is
Worse.
yeah, she seems like she's an actual like activist.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas
Instead
like
of, a
Iger
business activist.
Iger wasn't. I think so. I think I saw someone had a video on it. What's her? I don't even remember. Someone was telling me stuff that she's definitely an activist.
Yeah, you and I were looking at it the other day. I remember you did say something. We found something.
But ooh, Chris Pratt's back in the news. Yellow Flash said Chris Pratt haters destroyed in desperate bid to cancel him.
Every time.
I think it was Clownfish that had the Disney person. Disney Star Wars super cringe. Maybe we should have covered it. 91,000 views. A lot of Star Wars stuff doesn't come up on my radar anymore. They did 2 videos.
It's like, what's there to even talk about?
I thought I saw someone had something on the. Maybe it was Doomcock. I bet you that's what it was.
Of course. If I would put my money down on anyone, it'd be Doomcock.
No, it's not. I don't know. Maybe
we dreamed
Kinnell.
it.
Kinnell might have had something.
Oh yeah, Kinnell would.
He's been doing.
Kinnell would.
His content is kind of similar to. Here it is. No, that's Star Wars Galactic Cruiser. Backlash. Apparently, there's a Kathleen Kennedy self-insert character.
No way.
Let's see what he's got here. Yeah, look, there is.
Stop doing it. Stop putting yourself
Entertainment
in.
Weekly. Entertainment Weekly. He needs to move it up. Oh, you guys can't see. Sorry. There it is. Oh, I gotta go back. There it is.
No way.
I'm gonna have to zoom in here.
No
way. I don't know if that's gonna work. Yeah, I knew it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Dang it. It's on the video, so.
Wow, that is. Straight
But
up
that looks
Kathleen Kennedy.
like looks like Kennedy. Hard to argue.
Super hard to argue.
I remember seeing the video and I thought that was edited. I didn't think it was real.
Quote.
I mean, that looks like it looks like he's on. Whose website is he on?
Let's see.
Let me
That one
type it in.
is
Photo. That doesn't look like an Entertainment Weekly headline.
No, I think that's like a. I don't. It's not one of the big
it
ones.
says Entertainment Weekly on
That's
the.
a source. I mean, that's the one I'm looking at too.
Well, that's where
they're
they
the ones who got the
usually-
exclusive. Yeah.
They have it. Can you pull it up?
I got it.
Yeah, let's get a real good look at it.
Let's do it. Where the heck? You were pulled up a second ago.
I mean, is she supposed to be a chiss?
I don't know what she's supposed to be. I'll read you the description in a second as soon as I pull this up because
Blue
good.
skin looks like chiss.
That would require
Yeah, YouTube me says, I thought it was. He's agreeing with you, Josh. He says, I thought it was a meme. She looks like Violet Beauregard. Yeah, yeah, from Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory.
This just looks super photoshopped. This looks like a Photoshop. Like if I asked somebody to be like, "Hey, can you make a funny, like blue version of Kathleen Kennedy for a video, like so I can put it in my thumbnail or whatever?" This is what I would get. This is so bad.
Yeah, I know what DZ3 is saying here. She's supposed to be a chiss, but she looks nothing. So I think the makeup, the blue makeup, the tears, yes, looks like a chiss. Clear, obviously, yeah, the eyes are wrong.
She looks like Mystique.
I don't think a chiss would be wearing this like.
Why does this outfit look
Pilot
like you're from?
outfit?
Yeah, you're like a 1920s like train operator. I don't get it. We've never seen this before.
Yeah, I think a train operator is even better. It's like a conductor.
It's Mystique the conductor. It's so weird. But here's the best part. Here's what Imagineering
How do they
executive
describe it?
Scott Trowbridge describes her.
What's her name?
Her name is Captain Keevan.
Okay.
That's like really on the nose. Captain Keevan, Captain Kennedy, Kathleen Kennedy,
Kathleen, Kathleen,
Captain
okay.
Kathleen, Keevan, yeah, Kennedy. Like it's all
yeah.
there. We see it. But
I
we'll
think
learn a
Blizzard
lot.
ran into a problem with that.
Oh, they absolutely did, and now they think that that's what everybody wants changed, but it's not. Quote, we'll learn a lot more about her and her role in some pretty iconic moments in Star Wars history. He teases, adding that she runs the ship with capability and professionalism second to none. But just like the experience around her, there may be more to her than meets the eye.
She's actually a double agent. She works for the Empire, and she's gonna have all of the passengers executed.
Or she's a Jedi.
No. She's the one who actually chopped Luke Skywalker's hand off.
That's the iconic moment. She's there. Actually, no, she's the one who stopped Luke from killing Kylo. Because
Yeah.
you know that was not Kylo with his own force powers. That was her. She saved the day. She stopped the
Oh
bad
my
Luke
gosh.
from being a not good person.
Are there any other Entertainment Weekly?
No, that's the only one they've got.
They only have one. Entertainment Weekly
Only-
only had one.
Literally one photo.
Did they not? They didn't delete their article.
Still up. Disney World introduces new Star Wars character for epic Star Cruiser experience. Quote, this is not a hotel.
It is a hotel, though.
This is not
You
a
say
hotel,
that.
said Trowbridge. It's part video game, live action roleplay, immersive theater, and luxury experience all rolled into one. That doesn't sound
And-
appealing at all.
So it's not a hotel, so the beds suck.
Dude, that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing beds suck,
And the amenities are trash.
amenities are trash, beds suck, and the immersive theater is not as immersive as you're saying.
But everybody asks you for your pronouns before.
Dude, probably.
Yeah, they're gonna have like that label. Like,
Or yeah,
He
on their
says-
badges.
Give Captain Kivan or whatever.
Oh my dude, they totally are.
Yeah, they're gonna do that.
There's gonna be a photo and I can't wait. I can't wait for that first photo to come out. And I'm just gonna write an article that says, Josh is right.
The number of possible outcomes for your voyage. Oh my gosh, dude, this is so sick. Because they want you to
Dude,
spend
I
$6,000
was just about to say,
multiple
how
times.
dare you? How dare you?
I suspect we could calculate that, but it hasn't been important to me to know what that number is because it's a lot. What I hope is that our guests don't come to this with a feeling of there being a number of options. What?
So, oh hey everybody,
Like-
your experience is going to be unique, and you can choose to be with different groups, but we don't want you to. This is the same Kevin Feige line of we don't. Thank you, Nerdigans, for this is like a perfect thing. Like Shang-Chi sequel, we don't set up our things, we don't merchandise our film. Like it's the same lie.
What I hope is that our guests don't come to this with a feeling of there being a number of options. And then EW editorializes like it should feel infinite. That's not what he's saying here. To me, when he says this,
he's trying to say the opposite of that.
yeah, like when he says this, he's like, I hope they don't think that there's gonna be like there's like here he says, oh, it could be so many, but then here to me he's saying like, oh, it's like one time and like there aren't. It's one thing, nothing else happens. Like
That's what
if there are different outcomes, it's probably like really like
very
woman
small
does it.
things.
Instead of the woman singing, it's a guy singing.
Right,
Like
or instead of being docked by Imperials, you're docked by rebels, but
Or
not
a
rebels,
bounty
but
hunter or
like bound.
something.
Yeah, like I meant
Yeah.
rebels as in like raiders is what I meant. But
right,
like,
right. Okay, yeah.
not the Alliance, but like something like that. And it's like, okay, that was really the only difference, or you get a different movie or something. Like, oh, we passed by Tatooine on our planet or in our ship. Oh, we passed by Canto
There's just-
Blight. Wow, like.
There's just no way. I don't know. Like I feel like there's just. It would be really, really difficult to come up with like tons of variations when you're actually having to use real people, and pay them
Right.
instead of like programming it like a Mass Effect,
with like a set of options that go a specific way.
right? Or Witcher, or what's the what? Yeah, because Witcher has all those different.
Witcher has them, yeah.
Yeah, like Witcher. So I don't know. That's biting off more than you can chew is what it looks like to me. No, he didn't. He said this. No, he said that if Daredevil comes back, he will be
Yes.
played by Charlie Cox. He does not say that Daredevil is coming back, but if you read between the lines, he did say that Daredevil is coming back. And then Amy Pascal, whose hairstyle is just absolutely insane.
Dude,
I think I still have it here.
wow.
Oh, nope, I closed it. I closed that one.
Oh man.
She's like over there cackling, like, "Oh yeah, he's in Spider-Man." Basically, what reading between the lines, but
Oh,
that's not exactly what he said. If you actually look at what he said, he just says,
Oh, there she is.
"If Daredevil comes back, then he's being played by Charlie Cox."
So
Okay,
it's
yeah,
not
there
a
it is.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So do you have is that the video? Do you have the video? Can
No,
you play
this
the
is
video?
this is just the image. I just found it on Google. I don't have the video.
Oh, you don't have it?
I bet I can get it from that same source. Hold on.
I think
bet-
no. Look in Slack. Don sent it to us.
Got it.
It's yeah. All right, I'm going to actually.
I gotta find that part where she cackles. Is it right there? Where did she do it?
Isn't that haircut cultural appropriation?
It's something, man.
Isn't it supposed to be racist, something like that?
It is a war crime unto itself.
Right, it is.
Oh man, I wish I need Josh or John back because there is a part where she just witch cackles. No Way Home, Doctor Strange. I have no idea if I'm even showing you guys anything.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I see it.
Okay, good. It's there. You guys do see me jumping around. Is this it? can't remember. But she does look just like insane.
Oh yeah, there's no sound.
I know there's no sound. I'm just trying to find
Oh,
that
yeah.
moment, and it's just
Screen
Oh,
Rant
man.
got that too. I thought it was
Mhm.
a Cinnabon, whatever.
oh, I know.
Cinnabon.
It said I got it from here from Screen Rant. I can't find the exact moment where she loses.
Oh,
it.
here I got it.
Yeah, there was no sound, guys, because I didn't want to annoy you with the jumping
I don't know
around.
Here it is. I got it here.
To Twitter. After 10,000 years, she's free
Alright.
to conquer the earth.
Turn my headphones off.
Deep, 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 deep.
All right, gotta make sure my volume's up. Play.
If you were to see Daredevil in upcoming things, Charlie Cox, yes, would be the actor playing Daredevil. Where we see that, how we see that, when we see that, remains.
Yeah, so you can definitely hear her little cackle there.
Yeah, dude, that mostly it's her hair. It's so it's just kind of always bad.
Yeah, I don't know what she's doing with her hair there.
Like this is it's
But that evil cackle, like it's like she's auditioning for the next Hocus Pocus.
well, I mean, like look at this shot. Like that's just her. That's her IMDb photo. Like what happened here? She just got off of like a. Her hair looks like a dog just got groomed.
This I feel like this was like a style though in like the 80s.
Maybe in the 80s though, it was like a little. It was more. It was less like shaggy in the front. It was blown out, but it wasn't so like wind whipped.
All right, I think we're gonna wrap it up. It is almost 12:40 here on the East Coast. I need to get to bed. Suffer tomorrow. Thank you all for joining us. Hope we entertained you here on the Black Pill stream. Glad to have Josh joining us for his first stream. Hopefully,
Absolutely,
we'll get him on. We're gonna have you on for the foreseeable future on Wednesdays if you're up for it.
And we'll just have better. We'll have better topics.
Not better, but maybe one that I can actually talk about.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably, we probably should have brought in one of your articles.
We should have talked about Rosanna Arquette.
Oh god. Or Juicy Smollett.
Yeah, Juicy.
Oh, Juicy.
Juicy.
It's so bad. He's done.
We'll see. The jury's out right now, I think.
That's true. Yeah, they're in deliberation now.
So look for that. We got a big Smollett article coming out tomorrow. Josh done great work on that. There might be 2 Smollett articles coming out tomorrow because I think I might be working on one too. Because there's so much happening with that case.
So much.
Yeah.
But look for that. Do you want to? What else are you guys working on? I know. I got a mea culpa here. I know I said I was going to try and work on getting some YouTube videos up this week, and I have not done that. Some personal things come up that have just kind of hampered that. Hard to make a video when your 1-year-old is sitting next to you and making all kinds of noise. Yeah. She doesn't really cue anymore.
Oh no!
It screams now.
Oh no!
She's upgraded to screams. So and then like when she's in this, I have a little like play area for her, and when she's in there, she's like a tornado. So
that's all.
Stuff's all happening in there, and it's not really a conducive environment to record audio.
So Kathleen Kennedy, wait. So she just got kicked out of her movie. Gigi, hold on.
Yeah. So I might get one up tomorrow. We'll see how things work tomorrow. Might be able to get it tomorrow. But I did get that Tom Holland clip up. That's actually supplied to us from Sony.
Which was surprising.
It's a press site, so I cut it, and yeah, I'm not like geez, takes the piss out of superhero movies. It's like,
that's not what we want, though.
why would I want to go see your movie then? I don't
You
wanna
are a
see
superhero movie.
that,
Like,
yeah.
It's
So-
that thing again. It's nobody can be genuine about what they like. Everything has to be ironic and like, see, that's funny because.
Or am I like misinterpreting like the British phrasing of that? Like, take the piss out. Can you help me out on that, Josh? Like, what does that actually mean?
Basically, just mocking something. So
Yeah.
take the piss out of something.
Right. Yeah, that's what Bunny says.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's like, all right. I roll my eyes at that. Here we go again. Here we go
Right?
again.
Oh gosh.
Can't just have a superhero beating up a bad guy.
No, it has to be subversive and blah blah blah.
All right. So yeah, I know I have the juicy story on my slate. We'll see what else pops up tomorrow. I think I got this Hemsworth story that I didn't get to today, but he thinks that fans are losing enthusiasm for him as an actor playing Thor, which I don't know. That sounds like sounds like someone at Marvel's trying to get him to quit or something.
Or it sounds like a PR thing because I feel like he's the only one of the original like Avengers who's still around, who's cool, like Hulk, whatever.
And then I got
Mark Ruffalo.
I got a Spielberg story coming up too. This guy's an absolute woke
dude. It's
person.
so dumb. It's once you guys read it, it's so dumb.
He removed English subtitles from the West Side Story when the characters are speaking Spanish because he didn't want to give the English the power over the Spanish.
Well, like what about the people who don't speak Spanish, man? Like, so.
Well, the movie wasn't made for you then.
Yeah, you just.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. But the movie should be for everybody. They're not allowed to not be for me.
I can't wait for the Japanese to start doing that, and there's no English subtitles on any Japanese animation anymore.
You know what? Fine. Fine. I'll just text it all to Dawn and be like, "Tell me what they're saying."
No, that's the same thing. You don't get that. Can you imagine like Barbarians? Oh, we're gonna do this in German. Like this is a German production. Our characters are speaking Germanic and Latin, and we're not gonna have subtitles. Like
no,
because we don't want English people to have we don't want the English to have the power over the German and Latin.
And what happens, Spielberg, when you try to release this movie in a different country? I don't know if that many French people speak Spanish. Are you going to give them that? And then, oh no, now you're putting French before Spanish, you idiot.
It already got banned in like the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
They already banned it because I guess there's like some LGBTQ thing in the movie.
Which I have no idea. I don't even think that's in the original, so that's an ad.
Oh. Well, they literally killed off Doc, the guy who owns the shop. He's dead. His wife, his widow, is played by Rita Moreno. Now runs it, so it's basically a gender swap.
They really did. Yeah,
they literally just gender swapped Doc and said it's him. It's his widow now who runs the shop. And then the screen
literally killed him off.
The guy who wrote this new version also said he changed the backstory of like literally all the main characters. Tony, Maria, like they all have different backstories now. That's what he said. So yeah, look for that though. What do you got? What are you working on?
I have on my guys. I've got a bunch on my slate. I had some personal stuff come up today, so I didn't get to much of what I wanted to. But I know that we've got, like Shinkai was saying, or Ravula saying, an NVIDIA CEO or executive was caught by the same pedophile stingers that got the Sony PlayStation guys. So I got to look into that. Marvel Voices, their whole like diversity comic line or whatever, did this awful issue where, you'll all see tomorrow,
It's
and we
a
don't have time to get
lecture.
into it now.
It's literally
But
a lecture issue.
It is a lecture, and it is a lecture from Spider Girl, like Anya Cortez and Miles, explaining why Latinx is a good thing, and it's just like, it's so dumb. And I'll get into it in the article, but it's really bad. And then some other stuff to go through. I have a list somewhere, but got a bunch of stuff coming through as always.
How about you, Josh? What you got?
I still I've got no idea. I know that I have to do one of the Jesse Smollett articles, and I saw the chat talking about Chris Pratt being cancelled again. So maybe that's going to be news tomorrow. So maybe that's the thing I will be covering tomorrow. Definitely.
And then I also disagree with Zero Depressive. I actually really enjoyed Barbarians. I don't know if we're talking about the same. I thought the production was actually really good, and I enjoyed most of it. All right. Thank you all. Hope you have a great night. We will see you next Wednesday, and I will definitely try and get a video up either tomorrow or Friday.
Absolutely. Take it easy.
Bye.